All right. It says we are now live for the Glendale Coin Club meeting, December 10th, 2021. And I should probably wait just a second before getting into anything too crazy, because everybody, I'm sure, has got to skip the little 5-second ads that show up on the channel, unfortunately. But there you go. I'm sure everybody skipped those by now. Let's go ahead and, again, welcome everybody. I'm glad everybody can be here. Looks like we already got about 30 people here watching. I know more will trickle in now that we've gone live. Hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. Hope everybody has lots of fun plans for the holidays this month as well. Great to see so many people coming into these meetings each and every month. So many familiar faces and even a couple new ones here and there. I think, Don, before we get started, though, we should probably go for the Pledge of Allegiance, don't you think?
Absolutely.
So let's get the flag out here, and I'll make that full screen for everybody. And let's go ahead and do it. If everybody at home wants to stand and join us for the pledge, that would be great. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you very much for that, everybody. Go ahead and set that right over here. All right. Again, if you are not yet familiar and you haven't heard the last few times we've mentioned this, we are the Glendale Coin Club. Our club started in March 1959. We always have our meetings on the second Friday of the month, and we are the Friendly Club. And I've been the president of the club for the last few years. And Don Barry here, SoCal Box Breaks on YouTube, he's been our club secretary for a couple years as well, and he's here today. What we have here under this part of the screen right there are several items that we will give away for free tonight to some of the viewers out there. All you got to do is say something in chat at some point tonight. Don, right over here, has been writing down everybody's names that he sees on raffle tickets. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so if you don't think you've said anything in chat or you don't think he's got your name on a raffle ticket yet, all you got to do is say, "Hi, Don, put my name on a ticket," and he'll get it in there. And we'll do those after our presentation and after show and tell tonight. We'll give away some prizes. But what we have here is we have a 1981 proof set that was donated by Greg Berkovitz. We have a 1978 Denver certified Ike dollar, PCGS MS64, that was donated to the club as well. Got one of our 2019 Coin Club medals done by Dan Carr, the Moonlight Mint, we'll give away. Got another donated coin here. It's a 1961 Panama half Balboa. It's a 90% silver coin. That's real cool. That was donated to the club. Got a half-ounce silver here. It's the Canadian First Special Service Force coin, half-ounce of silver. And then we'll also give this one away right here. It's a Christmas round, Christmas Joy, 1 ounce silver. And this was donated to the club by Gordon O'Rourke of City Coin. So thanks, Gordon. After we do show and tell and after we do the giveaway prizes here, we will do an auction at the end of the meeting. All of the items are owned by the Glendale Coin Club. Everything starts at $1 each. Those items are listed in the description to the video. We have lots of donations, some stuff donated by Greg Berkovitz, some stuff donated by an anonymous donor, some things sent in by Dorian of DNL Bullion, and a couple from Gordon of City Coin as well. So lots of cool stuff. And the last item we'll auction off will be a Mexican 2.5 peso gold coin. So if you're looking for a little piece of gold, you can buy one. We'll start it at $1 as well. It's going to sell for more than $1, I bet. It's going to sell for $1, I bet. So. All right. Again, it's now been over 18 months since we've been able to meet at our library meeting room. Hopefully we'll get back to that soon, but no new updates on that, at least that I've heard. So for now, we're going to keep doing our meetings here on YouTube. Remember, if you've missed any of our prior meetings on YouTube, once these meetings are over, it saves it as a video, and you can watch those back at any time, including a replay of the live chat that you guys are participating in right now. We've had lots of great speakers in the past, lots of positive feedback on the meetings, and they're all there for you to watch back at any time. So very good, very good. Again, thanks to the donors for some of the giveaway prizes tonight and the auction items. That's really appreciated. There's also a couple other giveaways going on YouTube right now. I know there's always one going on my channel. I know the mods probably put the link into that at one point. There's a monthly free coin giveaway I do on my channel. Gringo OG22 donated some stuff to me for that. He's also doing his own giveaway. So if you check out that video, you'll see the links to there. Your chance to get, a couple $100 worth of coin prizes there just by going to those videos and leave a comment. So make sure you guys get in on that. Just got a couple announcements before we get to our guest speaker for tonight. One more chance for everyone to get memberships to the American Numismatic Association. They've given us a deal for coin clubs right now. Normally, it costs $30 for a gold membership to the ANA. They've given us this deal where a 1-year membership for new members is only $5. So if you want to get a membership to the ANA, you need to get me your information like right now, like tonight, or by tomorrow maybe, because I need to get a package of these sent in because everything's got to be in and received by the end of this month. So I'm going to send out one more group of applications, and there you go. If you want to upgrade to where you get the print magazine, that's the platinum membership. It's usually $46 a year. This deal lets us get that for you for only $20. It's a great, it's a bargain. It's a great deal there, and these make great gifts too. So it's the holiday season. Anyone you know that might like to become a member of the ANA, we can hook you up with a good price here. So very good. So make sure to get me your information. Just need name, address, and email, pretty much. So very good. Don't hesitate on that. Last chance on that. No real coin shows or anything going on for the rest of the month that I know of. Don, do you know of anything in the area?
Not in the area, no.
Yeah, I know there's some stuff coming back in January. Make sure you just check the NASC's calendar that's online. It's nasc.net. That's the Numismatic Association of Southern California. That's the best spot to look up coin shows for California. Jim Phillips, our webmaster for that, does a really good job keeping up on that. So that's where I would go to look up stuff. All right. Other than that, Don, do you have any other announcements or anything?
I don't.
Okay. Well, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Sam Gelberd up here for a second here. Hello, Sam. How are you?
Hey, Mike. How's it going?
Doing well. Sam here is going to be our guest speaker for tonight. We have an excellent program that Walt Ostermecki helped book for us. Those of you that don't know Sam, he's a numismatic educator with the American Numismatic Association. He's from Florida, where he distinguished himself as a top-rated public school teacher of 8 years, hired by the ANA Education Department in 2012. Current duties include handling the YN outreach education, both virtual and in-person programs, as well as the Your newsletter for all the ANA member youth. I'm told that you've established a now popular and very competitive ANA youth member quarterly online auction as well. That sounds fun. And that you oversee the ANA Boy Scout outreach programs and handle numerous youth and adult activities and events at the twice yearly ANA Educational Money Talks programs. Sam is also a published writer, having penned the curricula for the ANA's YN outreach entitled Treasure is in Your Pocket. Sam's going to give us a presentation tonight. It's called Oh No, It Ain't. And it sounds like it's going to be a really interesting presentation for our members, and really lucky to have Sam be able to speak to our club. And I hope you guys all join me in welcoming Sam to us tonight. Sam, did I leave anything out, or is that okay? Or?
No, pretty good. Actually, started working for the ANA in 2013. Actually, Walter Ostermecki has been instrumental in helping develop the Treasures in Your Pocket curriculum as it relates to children. I actually wrote something that we have on our website that we put up a few years ago, and then it turned into a monthly article now that I write for the Numismatist. And one thing, yes, I am technically from Florida, but I was really born in California. So glad to be talking to Glendale tonight.
Well, beautiful. Well, thanks, Sam. I guess we'll turn it over to you. I'm going to pull up your presentation here, and we'll make that full screen for you, and have at it. I'll keep track of the YouTube chat and everything. If anybody has questions, and I've actually had a few sent in advance, I let you know about already. So
cool. Yeah, absolutely. And if yeah, if there's someone who has a question that's really pertinent to what we're discussing right then and there, I don't mind stopping, getting into that. And then if it's something that we'll address later, I'll mention that. Oh no, we'll get to that in a little while.
If I see anything like that, I'll feel free to butt in and let you know.
Cool. All right.
All right, Sam. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. All right, so thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. The presentation is titled, as Mike said, "Oh No It Ain't," and that's actually stolen directly from the CONECA organization, a combined organization of numismatic error collectors of America. Hope some of you are members of that if you're not already, and also, as we mentioned earlier, members of the ANA. I won't try pitching the ANA too much to y'all tonight, but at any rate, we can get started. So what this is really going to be going over, so Mike, this should be okay, right, as far as just being able to toggle the arrows?
I see the "Oh No It Ain't" right now. I haven't seen you change anything yet. Have you tried changing it?
Yeah, I'm not sure how
Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing any of the slides change on our end.
let me see if I can.
So when you went ahead and shared that, I'm not sure if you shared the program or you're sharing your full screen or.
Should I try stop screen and try it again, or?
Yeah, we can try that again. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We got time. Yep.
All right, let me give that one more shot here then. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Sorry to get technical there with you folks, but sometimes. All right, so let's see if that'll work. Okay, so
I see it up there.
Working now?
Now I see it moving. Correct. Yep.
Beauty. Okay, yeah, I won't be able to see the chat, but that's cool. That's all right.
Okay, we'll keep track of it for you.
Perfect. All right, everyone. So what we're going to be talking about tonight, a few things. Really going to go over how to identify the difference between a damaged coin and what a real error is. A lot of times at the ANA, we get inquiries daily when people think they've hit the jackpot. They found something really cool looking in a parking lot, and for some reason they think it's an error coin. So that's what we're really going to be going over tonight, and you'll hear me discuss this big fancy word down the bottom, Paradolia. Very, very tough to live with as a coin collector. So if you take a look at both of these pictures on the screen, I'm sure you can tell both of these brand new 1964 Roosevelt Dime and a 1964 Comet. Beautiful, beautiful, absolutely as issued from the factory. Now, as coin collectors, we can usually tell when a coin is damaged or if it's an error, and that takes a lot of time. Of course, you can probably look at these cars and that's not how they left the factory. These are not error cars. So why then do people, when they look at coins, think, oh no, they see damage? That's got to be an error. Now, of course, on your screen right there, you can see these are genuine error coins, and that's what we're really going to be discussing tonight, how to identify these and how to distinguish them from these right here. All different forms of damage that we're going to be reviewing. So if you take a look at this picture right here, now this is for the die variety people, and if you are a member of CONECA, please don't chime in on the chat on this one just yet. But if you take a look at these, I took, there's two pictures, one black and white, one color. You see those two little marks, those two little lines kind of going, east-west a little bit between the 1 and the 9 at the bottom there? Just little lines, right? I mean, if you look at them long enough, they might actually look like remnants of an older mint mark. And for a while, there were a lot of us in the error variety collector community that thought that this was a genuine misplaced San Francisco mint mark. I'm not so sure some people aren't convinced that it isn't, but it's kind of been debunked for a while now. But look at it longer, just keep looking at it, and you might think, after a while you start seeing all sorts of things. And this concept is something we call Paradolia. From dictionary.com, they say this is the imagined perception of a pattern or meaning where it does not actually exist. So this is something that happens with coins all the time. But of course, you may take a look at other natural features. This is one of my favorites in New Hampshire. You ever have seen the Old Man of the Mountains when it was there? Some people think the 50-state quartered program is cursed in a lot of ways because some things aren't. Some of the things that were associated with the program have gone awry. But sometimes you can look at a picture like this, and maybe it is just a garage with the shadow of a tree on it. But you look long enough, you might see a face there in the garage door. This one might be a little easier to see. Looks like two kissing faces and that dent in the back of that minivan there. Some people might see a bush on the side there on the right, but then some people maybe are just a little paranoid, but it almost looks like someone's giving you the finger over and over. Not quite sure what kind of bush that is. But Godzilla? You never know. Anyway, so what we're going to talk about with error coins tonight, a wonderful expert, Alan Herbert, came up with a great classification system to just pretty much mention all three different styles of when a coin can really have an error potentially somewhere in the process. And of course, we see PDS. It's easy to think Philly, Denver, San Francisco. But for tonight, I want you to consider it as planchet, die, and strike, where things can go wrong in the process when coins are being made. So it could be an issue with the planchet, the medium on which a coin is struck. Notice I didn't say metal because there have been all sorts of things coins have been struck on. It could be an issue with the die, and that kind of skirts the line between die varieties and errors. Can't really get into that too much tonight, but of course, the easiest way to say it is that the difference between an error and a die variety. Errors are pretty much considered one-offs, just kind of mistakes. Die varieties tend to be repeated over and over. And then we'll also talk about strike issues, and that's where most of your errors tend to happen. So a lot can go wrong in just that one instant when a coin is being struck. So let's talk about the planchet issues. First of all, we'll talk about blanks and planchets, all different issues with planchets, different issues with the metal mixtures or alloys, laminations, plating issues. When we get to dies, we'll talk about the die production very briefly. And then, of course, get into the striking issues. And unfortunately, not enough time to talk about the tons and tons of different issues that could happen with the strike. So this is just a quick little diagram of how the die and hub making process goes. And of course, shameless plug for the ANA's modern minting process, error and varieties diploma program course. Look more into that on the ANA website, money.org. But this is just one tiny portion of the huge modern minting process. I know there's a very juvenile picture of it, but sometimes it's a great way to look at, a really complicated process. This really simplifies it. And yeah, the dies are just involved in the stamping press part of this entire production process. So understand that if you really want to be a great collector of errors and die variety coins or EV coins, you really need to understand how the minting process goes from start to finish, inside and out. So the planchet issues. First of all, if you look on the screen right here, you will see a blank and a planchet. When I was a kid growing up in the 80s, I would I'd see dealers advertise a type 1 and a type 2, what they'd call a type 1 blank planchet and a type 2 blank planchet. A blank is a disc that has been punched out of a sheet of metal. That's what's on the left-hand side of your screen there. It is completely flat, going all the way across on both sides. A planchet has gone through an upsetting mill and has a proto rim on it, which is ready to receive a strike and ready to go into the striking process. You can see in the picture on the right, slightly curved up sides as it gets on the periphery there. So different types of planchet errors. You can have a curved clip planchet. This is one of the most common planchet clips that we hear about. Some of you may be familiar with something called the Blakeslee Effect, which is something a lot of us, feel really cool about knowing once you figure it out. It's where 180 degrees opposite the side of a clip, if you look, you'll notice the rim tends to flatten ever so slightly. You notice it a lot really on the on the reverse of that V nickel right there, especially on the side opposite the clip. It's a great way to help authenticate. A lot of times people aren't sure if they have a real clipped planchet or not. That is a great way to tell. It's not always present, but usually. You see on this one, it's a straight clip, so it's probably on the end of a sheet of metal. Slight Blakeslee effect going on the opposite side. On this one, very interesting error, clipped planchet error, but a ragged clip. Pardon me. And you can see a huge Blakeslee effect going on the opposite side on the obverse there. But this happens, of course, when it's on the edge of a sheet. Really, really cool error. You don't get many of these. And you usually don't get too many of these either. This would be a 1900 Indian head cent that was struck on a $2.50 gold planchet. Very valuable error. Definitely wrong metal. Here's another wrong metal planchet. This was I believe this was a 1906 Barber Dime that was used as a planchet. So technically that's an 11-cent piece. Pardon me. Some of you may be familiar with wood grain alloy cents. You see these are a lot about from 100 years ago, where the metals aren't completely homogenously mixed, so you get streaks in them. Sometimes people call them woodies. Really cool looking coins, especially when they tone sometimes. Pardon me. And then laminated planchets, very cool error. Pretty common with war nickels. Pardon. Especially because of the different metals that were used in the alloy. U.S. Mint wasn't very familiar with working with this alloy, so laminations were relatively frequent. Yeah, these are much more drastic laminations. See a 20-cent piece there on the right with what they call a clamshell lamination. Very, very tough. Then sometimes you just get a piece of metal, just a fragment. Sometimes it may be missing layers. With a clad or copper nickel coins, you'll see a little bit of copper showing underneath, partially or the entire layer sometimes. So with die issues, and again, sometimes it skirts the line between die variety and errors. With die clashes, sometimes get some really cool looking things. With the Memorial series, you'd call a die clash like this a prisoner penny. And a clash, of course, if you're not familiar, is when there is no planchet that goes in between a pair of dies at the time they come together for the strike. So you get some image transfer from one die to the other, which is why you see the bars from or the spaces in between the columns of the Lincoln Memorial going across Abe's face there. Some of you may be familiar with the Bugs Bunny variety of Franklin $50. And if you look at the overlay on the left-hand side there of the obverse and the reverse, remember, coins have that 180-degree rotation, what we call coin turn, when you flip them up and down. Here's a close-up on the right-hand side there of the, and that's really just the tail feathers of the eagle's wing. And it causes them to have teeth looking like what they call the Bugs Bunny break or clash. Then die breaks right here. Please, people, if you do start to collect errors and varieties, if you decide you want to go that route, you might start noticing these right off the bat. They're relatively common. They do not really add value to coins at all. Please do not pay premiums for them. Just die chips. They're very common occurrence, especially with the buy break errors that you see over here. You could get a break in between any of the letters of Liberty and market it however you want to. When I was a kid, I remember seeing buy errors that were hyped up for quite a while, but they are very common. Please don't pay a premium for them. And then, of course, you get die cracks. Sometimes the die steel wears out and cracks develop. When you get some really dramatic cracks that develop near the edge of a coin, or near the rim, rather, it's what we call a cud. And of course, one way to authenticate these is you'll notice when a piece of the die face breaks off, there's a void, and the metal has to flow into that space. It follows the path of least resistance. So the metal will flow into there, and if you notice at the top of the reverse, the side opposite that die break on the rim, or that cud, you notice, well, the metal did have to go somewhere, so that's why it couldn't strike up completely on the letters there on the reverse. It's a very dramatic cud. I want this coin. If you know anyone who owns this, please tell them to contact me. I was born in 71 in San Francisco. I want that coin. And of course, die gouges. Sometimes happens, where maybe a die is accidentally dropped, or a tool is dropped on it. Or then you have some things like this that are somewhat controversial. And some of you may remember when these were found in Arizona in around December 2004. They made headlines. I actually wrote an article on it that'll be coming out pretty soon if it hasn't already. I think it may have. But yeah, you'll notice, you'll see these, what they call the extra leaf varieties, right over here on the left and then on the right. How those extra husks or leaves got there, bit of a mystery. Then, of course, you can have filled dies where a lot of, at the mint, there's a lot of dirt and grease. It's this mixture that's affectionately referred to as goop. This stuff finds its ways into the recesses of dies every now and then, and it won't allow for, when a coin is trying to be struck, it doesn't allow for the details to be completely struck up. So you'll notice around the edges of this Ike dollar here on the screen, it's a 71 Denver, you'll notice that some of the letters didn't even really get struck because they were filled in. You could call it a struck through grease error or a filled die error. Not really sure if there is a difference between the two of them. I use the terms interchangeably. Dropped letters and numbers, really strange. That kind of happens when that hardened mint goop falls out and the next planchet it lands on kind of gets struck into it. It may still be retained, or if it falls out, you're going to be left with a little hollow impression of that grease that dropped out. And it usually falls out pretty close to where it was, the device it was stuck into. For example, the D that you see right here on the left-hand side on this statehood quarter, that's actually the D from God, not the mint mark. You can tell it's a completely slightly different shape. And then this 9 right here from this Mexican 1 peso, you can see there was a 9 that had been filled in and then one that dropped out. So that doesn't happen very often. And then with overpolished dies, I'm sure some of you, if you've been collecting at least for a little while, you're familiar with these two very key die varieties in both the Lincoln Cent series and Indian Head Buffalo Nickel series. The 22 plain, or because it was overpolished at Denver. Mint mark got polished away, and then there was some aggressive die polishing to remove clash marks on a nickel in Denver in 1937. I'm sure many of us are familiar with. And then you're going to see some pictures tonight that I actually took from people who've sent in requests at the ANA, people who've emailed me asking if they were real error coins. I remember someone sending us this because they thought they had a real strong double die 1992 D cent. But this is really more than... it's just die fatigue. A die is being used too long and should have been out of service, should have been retired. It will produce some really interesting results. This is only a quarter from 2016, and I just think that is the coolest looking deterioration. I mean, that thing should have been retired a long time, many strikes ago. The Obverse, of course, was okay, but that reverse die, should have got rid of that one. And then some of you might be familiar with this pretty rare error with what they call mismatch dies. Very tough one. If you're not familiar with this, I think there's a website called smalldollars.com where they talk about this very rare error that you see on the screen. So issues with strikes. And again, this is where most of your errors really occur in the striking process. Again, don't have time to review all of them, but we will definitely talk about a decent amount of them. So you can have misaligned dies where the dies didn't evenly line up when a planchet was fed into the press, and it was fed in correctly, probably sat in on the anvil or the lower die, and then when the hammer or the obverse die came in on that Lincoln set, it wasn't lined up correctly, so it looks like the obverse is off center, but the reverse isn't. When that happens, it's just die misalignment. It's a little bit more drastic when you can see on this dime right here. It usually doesn't bring a premium in price unless it is pretty dramatic. Now, if it's going to be a true off-centered strike, both sides will be showing that off-centered missing elements. Man, 18S Buffalo nickel. A lot of times, that's a really tough date coin, especially in that condition. One thing you'll notice that on a key date coin or a better date coin, errors don't usually make them worth even more. A lot of times people tend to think that, an error on like a 1909 SVDB is going to make it worth way more money. It's usually the opposite. If people want key date coins, they usually want them problem free. So keep that in mind too. This one was a 1964 Kennedy half dollar. Pretty much the best way to tell that is weigh it. It was 12.5 grams instead of 11.5. So we know it wasn't a 40% silver planchet. Brockage errors are really tricky, really, really cool, especially with gold because it's such a soft metal. Try and explain a brockage here in about less than 1 minute. A planchet gets fed into the press, gets struck, but instead of being ejected, it sticks to one of the dies. So now you've got a struck coin stuck to a die. You have a coin stuck to the die, and now you got another planchet coming in, and that coin that's stuck is now acting as a die itself. So the next planchet that comes in is going to get struck with this reverse, the opposite of that, and then a regular reverse. So that's exactly what happened in that picture right there. Very, very dramatic error, especially on gold. This is what happens with just a partial one, when when a planchet gets fed but didn't get in, struck dead center. Struck through objects are very, very interesting. And remember, with when you're trying to value an error coin, of course, any coin is only worth what someone is willing to pay for it. But the more dramatic, the more of a wow factor, that's usually when things tend to go up in value. Struck through cloth, like that nickel over there on the left, and then that 1966 Lincoln cent struck through a brush bristle. And of course, the way a brush bristle would go in would be that type of shape. And a lot of times these would be used to clean dies. A lot of times, again, there's a lot of mint goop there, and you need something really vigorous to get all that stuff out of there. This one you can tell this 21 Morgan dollar wasn't really just worn. If you notice, the reverse has pretty strong details, but the obverse, how does something like that happen? Well, it's showing that lack of detail because it was struck through grease. Now, those of you that like to collect first strikes, I'm not going to criticize you too loudly right now. However, understand that a first strike is the first planchet that is struck by a fresh new pair of dies, period. This is a first strike coin in all likelihood, because a first strike is really just an adjustment. You're setting up the press to see if everything is going right before you start ramping up production with that new pair of dies. A lot of times a first strike is discarded. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So if you look at this coin right here, double strike errors or multiple strikes are heavily faked. A lot of time, we'll talk about how they do that toward the end of this presentation, but understand that a true, genuine double strike or multiple struck error, everything is going to be raised. Unless it's a $2.5 or $5 gold Indian, where it's in-use design. But for sake of argument, most coins, it's going to be raised and reads forward from left to right if it's in English. You'll notice multiple strike errors here. Very, very dramatic. And you notice nothing is backward. Get to that a little bit later. Broad strikes, of course, if you know about the minting process, you know that when an obverse and reverse die come together, there's also a collar die. There's really 3 dies that are involved in striking a coin. The collar closes in on the side of the planchet to prevent the coin from just squishing out like a pancake. This is what happens on screen there when the collar does not come in time. We mentioned overpolished dies earlier. We can skip over this. Pretend errors. I know I already spoke to you about buy errors. One other thing I hope no one in here has ever spent money on before is a poor man's double die. It's really nothing more than, again, just die fatigue. It is not true doubling. Do not spend a premium on them. They are so common. You can, I guess here's a 1953 poor man's double die. You can see it on many different coins. So please don't pay premiums for things like that. Interesting thing that you see on the screen right here. Some of you may have seen this one before. Just want to ask if you think this is an error or not. Because error usually kind of implies that something went wrong accidentally. This is a 1970s proof quarter struck on a 1941 Canadian quarter. Not going to get into the controversies of all that or how a coin from almost 30 years ago from a different country could wind up being a planchet. For a proof coin, proof planchets are specially treated too. We can't get into all that right now. I'll just leave it with this, that I believe this coin is currently on sale right now on eBay for about $35,000. I kid you not. So now that you have an idea of what real errors look like, I want to get into some basic post-mint damage. Now, if you look on the screen right here, you may be familiar with this. These are coins that came right from emails that I got while working at the ANA. This is a very common phenomenon. It happens on the ends of bank-wrapped coin rolls. If you're not familiar with this, the automated coin wrappers, the crimper at the end of them, sometimes imparts these huge, horrible scratches on coins. When searching for W quarters over the last couple of years, it was always bittersweet finding one on the edge because, hey, it's a W quarter, but it's got a gigantic gash going right through it. So much time on their hands. If you're not a collector and you see something like this in your change, of course people are going to call and say, I've got a penny, but it looks like it was struck on silver, but there's silver underneath. They just don't understand the zinkins or the copper-plated zinc cents that we've been using since '82. This one, not quite sure what happened. Could have been hit with a ball-peen hammer, shot with a BB gun. At any rate, it didn't happen at the mint. It is PMD. This one, of course, looks like someone maybe took a belt sander to it or just rubbed against a sidewalk for way too long. Smashed coins, a lot of times, hey, they look unusual. So naturally, if you're not a collector, you're going to think, there's an error. I'm rich. Who do I call? Where do I cash it in? Yeah, of course, I'll admit, when I was a kid, I would smash coins on a railroad track, but I didn't understand why people would do that. Believe it or not, there are historic reasons. For example, to commemorate a certain event, a very popular one, Abraham Lincoln, when he was shot in mid-1860s, his train, or the train that carried his body from Washington, D.C. to Springfield, Illinois, to remember this event happening, people would put coins on the track, and as it ran it over, when they were done, they grabbed it and they said, yes, this was, run over by the, Lincoln's death train. On the screen, you can see one from 1901 when McKinley was killed in Buffalo. So, tooled or altered coins. Again, 1934 Canadian cents were round. but people will do all sorts of things to coins, and then they'll spend them. People call the ANA, and then we have to crush their dreams. These coins that you see on the screen right here were probably found in a dryer. A lot of times coins, in our change, wind up getting thrown into the laundry, and sometimes coins will find their way in between the dryer drum, and a lot of times when people are servicing these machines, they'll find a lot of coins that look like this, where the edge is kind of rolled in over, like you see on this dime right here. So if you've ever found coins like this, chances are someone wasn't trying to make a ring, trying to spoon the edge of the coin over and over. This was folded in. Copper nickel is a lot tougher to do with that than with silver. Much more durable metal. Take a look at the coins on screen right here. You have to consider half dollars, Ike dollars. They didn't really circulate too widely, especially bicentennial half dollars. So how did they get this worn? Where are these kind of coins used? Casinos, slot machines. If you look on the edge of a lot of coins like this, you'll notice the reeds are pretty much crushed flat and just worn smooth. So if you find a coin that does have really weak details and the edge is also really, really smooth, chances are it was used in a slot machine. It's a casino coin. This is a pretty sad one on this half dollar, because if you look carefully, this is an actual off-center error that actually found its way into circulation and unfortunately circulated heavily in a casino at some point. People will see all these little marks. I got a call from one lady one time. She said, I've got a nickel that has all these little stars all over it. They're just thousands and thousands of hits from having other nickels slam into it repeatedly. A lot of times, this one fools even some veteran collectors. If you look at the Lincoln cent on the right, the 56D, some people will see a flattened rim, or they'll think it's a secondary rim, not realizing it was formerly a lucky penny. When you put these coins in these encasements, it kind of smushes the rim, smushes those details. And if a coin is ever freed of that entrapment, you'll notice it kind of has that appearance. So if you've ever found a coin that resembles that, especially a Lincoln cent, chances are that's exactly what it was. Counter-stamped coins. These did not happen at the Mint. The Mint doesn't really do counter stamps except for the V75 one. Finally, they came up with a privy mark in the last year or so. That is a very common fake ancient coin with a counter stamp. And then for those of you that like cacked coins, I wanted to find that quarter from Canada that had been aggressively cacked in the lower right. Sometimes you'll see coins that have been issued with paint or enamel. The 1973 quarter there reminds me of why you might find quarters, especially from maybe the 50s or 60s, that have paint on them, or maybe nail polish. And it all goes back to drive-ins with jukeboxes. A lot of times the waitresses would feed jukeboxes with quarters that they'd paint with nail polish, just getting that party going, getting the party started. And then when the music would stop, patrons wanted to still go, so they would take quarters out of their pocket and start feeding the machines. At the end of the week, or whenever, the owner of the place would empty out the jukebox and all the quarters that had nail polish on them, give them back to the server so they could do it all over again. So whenever you find quarters with paint on them and it's kind of coming off, just think, one of the best things about this hobby is, the stories behind them. So who knows if your coin may have been used for that purpose. Little trickier sometimes is when you see damage like glue or lacquer. You can take a lacquer, maybe put it on one coin and then put another coin on top of it. And then you peel that coin off after it's dried, and it makes it look like there's extra metal where there may be two coins fused together. And if you're not a collector, naturally, the inclination is to think it happened at the Mint, and now I'm a millionaire. Where do I cash it in? So stickered coins, a lot of times, if you see stickers on older coins, don't peel them off. Exonumia or token collectors love these kinds of things. Really cool. Just understand, even with the new ones, the modern golden dollars, you'll see with a president on them, did not happen at the mint. Sometimes you find those in circulation. It's interesting. A lot of times I'll get people at the ANA who will email us saying they found a Black Beauty nickel. Yeah, the internet's good for coins, but it's also done some bad. A lot of times people will find corroded coins and they think it's got to be an error. You can tell by the top center one right there, the zinc Lincoln cents are so environmentally unstable. The zinc a lot of times will rot from the inside out sometimes. It's really, really weird. And then, of course, artificial toning on coins. If you like it, sure, collect it, but just know that it's not real. Real toning, there are classes on that. Can't go too far into that right now, but real toning is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. To some of us, again, art, it's in the eye of the beholder, right? Beauty. And then some other genuinely toned coins. If you're ever looking for a 1943 copper, you probably won't find it, but if you're looking for a 44 steel, get yourself a 2 franc from Belgium. We struck those on leftover planchets from 43. Toning right here, is that genuine? It's only on one side, and that's some wild colors. Might be an AT coin, but honestly, that is beautiful, genuine toning all day long. Yeah, toning like that will usually go for some huge premiums, which is why it's worth it to some people to try faking it. So a lot of times people will ask us at the ANA about really thin or smaller than usual coins and really weak details, and they don't realize it'd probably been subjected to some type of acid at some point, which is why it's just extreme metal loss completely on all sides of the coin. Of course, fire, extreme heat, you can fuse coins together. Looks like it was a 1964 quarter. Not sure about the date of the dime, but probably silver. Now to the advanced portion of the post-mint damage. Magician's coins. These fool people all the time, where you see a coin that has 2 heads or 2 tails, or 2 obverses, 2 reverses. There's a picture of a coin that had been holdered by PCGS right here, because it's one of the few ever real genuine coins struck with a double obverse or double reverse. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's only really happened about maybe 3 times that we're ever really sure of. You can usually tell there's a little seam inside the rim on one of them. And people will get upset because they think, oh man, it's not a real error. But it's not that it's not worth anything. These things go for at least $5 to maybe $10 in a magic shop. So at least you've got that going for you if you find it worth more than a quarter. And the way those are usually made is they're done by hollowing out, just machining 2 coins, hollow out one on one side, machine one to fit so that they snap together. Like these coins right here, some people would call these magician's coins, or sometimes spy coins. If you ever have a chance to go to the International Spy Museum in Washington, D.C., you can see some of these on display. Some of you may have heard of a story of a kid on a paper route, and I think it was in New York City in the 50s, who busted a couple of people that maybe there was a communist plot going on. Story for another time. Really cool magician's coin right here on your screen, this 65 quarter. You can take on the edge, if you look at the top, you see a picture of how the edge has a groove on the side of it. That would be where you'd take like a little rubber band, like the kind of a tiny rubber band you might use for braces. So that way you can kind of bend the coin. Cool trick. Then you get sandwich error coins. And I wanted to mention these earlier, but this is a very commonly faked error. These are actual pictures that I got from people who emailed me at the ANA, where you will take a coin, take at least 2 coins, put one on top of the other, and either smack them together under intense pressure, or what's a really popular method is you put them in a vise, and under intense pressure, details of both coins will transfer to one another. And the telltale sign, of course, is that the doubled features are backwards and they're incuse. So if they're not struck up in relief and if they're not reading forward, it is not a double struck coin. If you check the Error Ref website, they have some great information about these kinds of errors and many others as well. The Kaneka website will also help you, especially the Variety Vista website if you have suspected die varieties. I want to leave you with this thought, because people will ask me all the time, man, Sam, you found some cool varieties, you found some cool errors over the years. How do you get so lucky? And I just need you guys to understand that there's nothing really to it other than just going out there and looking for those coins. But before you do so, knowing what to look for. So just being lucky is really just that moment when all that preparation you do, studying coins and reading and learning. Can you tell I used to be a teacher? All the learning and prep that you do, and then when you put it in practice in the field at a coin show, at a coin shop, and the estate sale even, that's when luck really happens. So real quick, shameless plug for an article I write every month in the Numismatist. It talks all about certain cool things you might be able to find in your change. May actually get to a point where I'll start talking about other things that you could just find in your collection that you probably won't really find in change very often, but still really cool die varieties or certain errors to look for. And Glendale, thank you so much for letting me talk to y'all tonight. We do have a lot of archived presentations on the ANA website. We have our e-learning academy, so please check out the ANA website, the address you see on your screen right there. If you have any questions about error coins, and we may be looking at some tonight too, I'm not sure. But if you ever have any questions, you can always hit me up at sgelberd@money.org. And with that, Mike, that's pretty much, I think, the end of what I was going to share with you all.
Well, that's great, Sam. Definitely appreciate that. Got a lot of positive comments. Thanks for doing the presentation for us. We did have a couple of questions come in while you were going, if I can do those real quick with you.
Cool.
Steve Woods asked, he said he finds coins all the time that have either thicker or narrower rims, and he wanted to know if anything like that's worth a premium.
Not really. It really would depend on the coin in question. Sometimes you get like finned rims. It's really tricky. It's a case-by-case basis. And that's the thing with error coins, because they are technically unique. They're one-offs. But by and large, it doesn't sound like it sounds like they'd still be within tolerances. And you have to be careful of I remember Bill Thieva told me a long time ago when I was really excited about what I thought was a really cool repunch mint mark, and wasn't much of anything. He just said, Sam, you got to be careful of the BNDs, barely noticeable differences.
Yeah.
If honestly, if it takes 20 power glass to look at it, it's probably not going to generate much of a profit for you. So
right. Another question came in early on by Luke when you were showing the clipped coins and talking about the Blakeslee effect. He wanted to know if you knew what causes that.
I'm not quite sure. It's an excellent question. I would just think it has to do somehow with the void of metal on the opposite side.
Yeah, that's kind of how I learned it. It was like that part where the clip is, there's no metal there, so the die doesn't sit properly on the other half, or it squeezes a little too close where there's no metal and then leaves the gap. Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just when there's that much force, when there's that much pressure, again, you just have to consider it's the metal is going to travel to the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
So it's
we got a guy in here, Mr. Marmello. He's from New Zealand. He just wants to ask you what your favorite type of error coin is.
Ooh, man. Die caps. Probably.
Those are pretty
die
amazing.
caps are absolutely insane. I actually took it out of this presentation. There's a longer version of this presentation available on the ANA website, e-learning Academy, and there's one slide I have of an 1859 Indian head cent Obverse die cap, and it is just so cool. It looks like a thimble. Truth be told, I actually have a die cap I made at the ANA in our basement. We have a mini mint, and I kept feeding pewter planchets in one after another and just kept striking them. It's a screw press, so it's all done by hand. And I hope our curator doesn't watch this, or just if you know Doug Mudd, don't tell him. But I just kept just slamming planchets over and over and over again, and it just stretches up over the die neck, and it creates like what looks like a little thimble. You can probably tell, Doug, it's not that big a deal because we use pewter, so it's pretty soft on the dies. But that's probably one of the most dramatic looking errors. When you see multiple planchet errors, when a planchet gets fed in, struck, and then just others get fed in and they don't get ejected, you get what look like pine cones or clusters. Absolutely crazy. You wonder how the heck did they get out of the mint? But who knows? Yeah,
that's very good. Very good. There's another question here. Someone's asking about counter stamp coins, like the trade dollars, and if they might be more valuable. I don't know if they're talking about the ones that get like the chop marks. Or...
that's what it sounds like. Chop marks. I mean, I think they're pretty cool. The auctions I put on for our YNs, it's actually a big annual one. I do monthly ones that are a little smaller, but then there's this big annual one in September. Yeah. We actually had 2 chop marked 8 reales coins. Cool. So yeah, that was really cool. I don't even own one in my own collection. Here we are giving the kids, really cool coins like that. So it's cool. One of the joys of working at the ANA.
Right. I did have a few people send in some photos ahead of time. You want to take a look at some of these? I can try to bring them up on the screen here. I'm going to have to click some stuff here and move some things around and try to bring these up. So bear with me just a second. I got to share my screen now. Let's make sure we do that. And there we go. And can you see that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what this is here, this was sent in to us by Fish and Hank, who's in the chat. He says this is a waffled canceled coin. You want to know, is this considered an error coin or?
It's actually considered scrap metal by the mint. It's pretty strange. I have a waffle in my collection. It's pretty strange. From what I understand, the mint actually kind of just sold these to scrap metal distributors because they think, well, it's just scrap if they've destroyed it that much and it's unusable as money. Right. The thing is, a lot of times what they are waffling are coins that were errors, that were some kind of a mistake that happened. And in order to, before they just get rid of them to the scrap, they would make sure that they were damaged. So that's why they came up with this waffle machine. Okay. I've seen waffles before where if you look carefully, you could tell that there was something wrong with the coin. If you look at the under type, I guess is the best way to say it, because the waffling does really smooth out a lot of the features, but it doesn't destroy all of them. Yeah. So sometimes I think if you have a chance to look at a pile of waffled coins, look really carefully. Maybe you'll find multiple strike coins that were waffled. And I mean, technically it is still an error coin, but I don't know. It kind of skirts the line. That's a great question.
Yeah, this one here, if you can see that one there, it's a 1958 D Lincoln cent. This one looks kind of like one of them that I think you showed in your presentation, but this was sent in by Phil Iverson. He wanted to know if this would be a railroad rim and how does that happen?
No, that is exactly like I think it was a 56D Lincoln cent that I showed earlier. That is a formerly encased Lincoln cent.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. That's the one where you put them in like the, what does it have, like an aluminum outer ring or something?
Yep, like the lucky penny holder. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yep.
Kind of looks like that. Let me bring up another one here. This one here, it's a Jefferson nickel, war nickel. He sent a few photos. Let's flip through them.
Sure,
There's the reverse. And then here's a picture of it at an angle. This was sent in by Shannon Smith. He said it's a 43 nickel with a gnarly lamination. And he says they call it a cracked skull. And he wanted us to show that off because he thought it was real cool.
Yeah, it is. I love. That's one thing I love. If I'm sometimes if I've spent all my money, I'm at a coin show and I'm just kicking tires, going around dealer tables. If I see a pile of war nickels, sometimes I'll just go through them and just pick out ones that have really cool laminations. Again, it's a really unstable alloy. It's the first time the mint ever really experimented with manganese. And that's why manganese is a weird element. It turns black when it comes in contact with human skin, which is why the war nickels have that really dark coloration. Or if you look at the golden dollars, they ain't so golden for long once they enter circulation because of the element manganese.
Fair enough.
Yeah, cool lamination. Nice.
This picture is real small, so I'm going to try to zoom in. I think we'll be able to see what he's talking about here. This was sent in by Steve Sussman, 2018 Cumberland Island Quarter. He says he thinks it has a definite wing cud mint air. He found this in circulation, and he said he's seen some similar ones on sale on eBay. And it looks like, I think maybe he's talking about this right here on the
that's the anomaly I'm seeing there too. Remember, it's a die chip. It's not a cud unless it involves the rim somehow.
Okay.
So it's a die. I guess you'd have die breaks, which would almost look like lightning bolts. It might be really thin, like hairlines, but then they get a little bit bigger. That would be a die chip.
Okay.
So,
very cool.
And the thing is, with things like that, and with most error coins, again, working for the ANA, traditionally, our stance is, we're an educational nonprofit, so I can't provide values to people.
Oh, of course.
I'm not working for the ANA technically right now. So, you have to understand value with error coins. It all comes with the wow factor. If it's really eyeball noticeable, if it's really catching. Truth be told, when I saw this, maybe it's because the picture was so small, I didn't see it right away until you mentioned, that they thought there was something wrong. Then, okay, well, there it is. So it took a little while to notice it. So just saying.
Fair enough. And then there's one more that we had sent in. There's a few pictures I'll cycle through. This is from Jason Goldman Shot in the chat, and he's wanted to know if you think this coin's a double die or not. It's from a 1922 peace dollar. There's one of the images, and I'll cycle through them here for you.
The twos are going to be real. Yep. I was going to say, I know this is a 22 coming up. This plagues a lot of 1922 peace dollars. And truth be told, when a lot of us, myself included, when a lot of us start off collecting die varieties, you'll notice something that looks doubled. And yes, it absolutely does look doubled. No denying it. The sad thing is it's something called strike doubling. It's or sometimes you might see it promoted as shelf doubling or mechanical doubling.
Yeah, a couple of them are saying machine doubling in the chat right now.
Yeah, or you may a fancy one, ejection doubling, because as that coin is a struck coin is being ejected from the chamber, kind of gets jostled or gets like another secondary false hit by the dies. And die doubling all goes, real die doubling happens in the die making process. This is something that occurs in the striking chamber, so it has nothing to do with the die or the dies that were used to make it. So it's not a doubled die technically. It's a false. It's not a double struck coin either, unfortunately. It's just what they call strike doubling. If I could, shameless plug, of course, if you don't have the Cherry Pickers Guide, actually, they're kind of tough to find right now. There's a great section in the back, no matter which edition or newer volume you have, I think 4th edition on up, there is an appendix that reviews strike doubling. You could probably just do a search online of just strike doubling or mechanical doubling. I know the NGC website and the Error Ref website have some great examples of it. But again, those of you who are just starting off as die variety collectors, please do not be discouraged by that. You'll probably look at several dozens of coins. You'll think they're all double dies and that you hit the jackpot. And then you show them to someone in the know and they'll say, well, this one's doubled, but all the rest are not. And the one that's doubled might just be worth $1 or $2. But don't let that discourage you. I mean, the more you keep looking, the better chances you have of being lucky.
Gotcha. Well, that was all that was sent in. I do have for my show and tell, it's an error coin, and I'll figure since I got you on here, you might like to see it. It's one of my favorite error coins. Let me make myself full screen there so we can see it. They call this one the error of the century on this holder. It's the Bahama, New Zealand Mule coin. So you see the Bahamas coin there. It says Elizabeth II Bahamas. And it's got a pineapple 5 cent. You got the New Zealand. It says Elizabeth and New Zealand on it. And it's a 2 cent. And then the Mule coin will say, I can't focus right now, of course, but it'll say Bahamas, but it'll have the New Zealand reverse. So, I always thought that was a fun one.
That is a cool one. I've read about those, but I've never actually seen one. Thank you. That is,
I saw this at a local coin shop on their bid board in this like little Capital Plastic custom holder, I guess, kind of for it. And I'm like, okay, I had to have it because I've had the Mule coin on its own before, just because I always thought it was neat. But having the three together like that, and it's not the nicest example, but still a fun little set.
But nevertheless, it's good because you teach people, about something else that's out there that's really cool. That
you can see exactly what Mule coin means right there because you got all of them right there. It's great.
Nice. That is a great one.
Well, very good. I didn't see any other. I probably missed them though, but I didn't really see any other questions there coming in. I do want to thank you again for the presentation. It was very good. If you can go ahead and email me a mailing address, I want to send you one of these on behalf of the club. This is our Glendale Coin Club silver medal that we had made up for our 60th anniversary in 2019. And it's got the Pacific Railway medal reverse. Dan Carr of the Moonlight Mint did these for us.
I've heard of that guy. Yeah, he lives here in my state, I think.
Yeah, he does a real good job on our club medals. And so I'd definitely like to send you one of these.
Wow, I'd have done a talk for you guys so much sooner if I knew there was a Dan Carr medal involved.
I know. Well, great.
Awesome.
Great.
Oh, thank you, Glendale.
And one more thing, I guess since you're involved in the A&A a little bit, it sounds like we have this offer that we're trying to promote people to sign up for only $5. Anything you want to say or try to convince people why they should join up?
Well, I'll tell people honestly the reason why I joined. I remember I was at a fun show back in 2005, and I was gonna get some coins graded by NGC, and I was talking to this one dealer about doing it, and he said, "Well, you'd have to pay them a certain membership fee, but if you join the ANA, you can actually submit the coins directly to NGC yourself without having to pay those fees." Yeah. So honestly, I did it because I could submit coins a lot cheaper that way. But then, as an ANA member, I realized all the value of being an ANA member, primarily the camaraderie. I can't get into exactly just how important that is to collect with other people. Please don't collect on an island. Brian Silliman, a California guy, I've heard him say before, don't collect in a vacuum, and he's absolutely right. You need other people in this hobby. So being involved with a local club like Glendale or a bigger one like the ANA. We also put out a really cool magazine. The only difference between gold membership and platinum membership at the ANA is platinum members get the Numismatist, our in-house monthly publication. They get that physically mailed to them. If you're a gold member, you just get access to the online version.
Great. Yeah, I guess one of the times I signed up for the ANA was just to get the access to Hugh Wood for the coin collecting insurance and stuff. And once I started getting the magazine and all that, I just started seeing all the other benefits. But yeah, even if it's just like you said, to save money on not having to pay the separate NGC membership, it's
Oh yeah.
And now that you guys, my favorite thing now is you guys have all the Numismatist magazines digitized on the website, and you can go in there and type in the town you grew up in, and there's probably some article written of some token from there back in the 40s or the 70s or something. Or
late 1800s.
Yeah, it's all searchable. It's great.
Yeah, I think exact editions, you can access that if you're a member. And truth be told, I think I may be the only ANA member. There aren't a lot of us on staff that are true coin collectors, only really a few of us. You don't need to be a coin collector if you're involved in marketing necessarily, or accounting, but I'm probably the only ANA member, staff member that also has Hugh Wood insurance. That is a great benefit of being an ANA member.
I'm getting a couple people sending in some really late show and tells and stuff. Usually I tell them, no way, I'm not doing that in the middle of the thing. But
I'm cool.
This one's from Randy, though, so we got to let Randy get away with this. So here's Randy just sent this picture in. Looks like it's a pretty off-center 1983 nickel there.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, for sure.
I guess this is probably the reverse shot.
I like when you get to see the date with it, too. That always helps. Having the date always tends to add a little bit of value. So,
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, because if it was off-center the different direction, that could have easily been cut off.
Yep. Yeah.
Very cool, nice Randy. Now everybody knows Randy's email. Sorry, Randy. Don't look. All right, and then I think, let me close that and try to open up another email I got here. Well, that's just John Duff sending in his show and tell way late. That's not an error coin or anything, but we'll show that. I think that might be it. A bunch of people emailing for ANA memberships. Cool. Okay, great. I think that's going to be it, Sam. I'm going to want to thank you one more time. And again, thanks to Walt Ostermecki for putting us together. He's done a really good job finding speakers for us while we haven't been able to meet at our local library location. And really do appreciate you doing the talk for us.
Nice. Yeah, glad to do it. Hopefully it won't be the last time. Hope to talk to you all again at some point.
All right, great, Sam. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thank you, Mike. Thanks again, Glendale Coin Club. See you guys.
All right, bye-bye. All right, Don. Very good. That was great. You've been writing down people's names and stuff, I'm guessing, right, for the free giveaway. So hopefully everybody is getting in on that.
Yes, I have.
Let me see. I'm probably missing some other stuff in chat. Again, if you guys have been sending me emails for show and tell, I'm probably not going to get all of them. I do have some show and tell to do before we do the free giveaways. There's a couple show and tell items that came in that we didn't show yet. But remember, if you want a chance to win any of the stuff we're giving away, a bunch of stuff that got donated here, just got to get your name in. So you need to talk and say hi to Don and make sure he's got your name in. So if you haven't said anything into the chat yet, you have a chance to do that. So I will go up here and do some show and tell. Let me scroll down and find that. All right, first up for show and tell is Gringo OG22. And all his pictures came in a little sideways for some reason when I say that, so I got to rotate that. Let me go ahead and share my screen again. There we go. Hopefully you can see that now. I think that's good. Gringo sent this one in. It was Thanksgiving last month, so it was pretty fresh on the mind. And he sent in this medal he recently got. It's a 1934 Society of Medalists American Abundance Medal with a big turkey on it, which is really cool. And the other side of it, which I got to rotate, there you go. It's got corn, abundance, which is a really nice medal. Just an awesome piece. And does he have another picture there? Yeah, Society of Medalists, 10th issue. And I looked it up, and I think it said 1934 was the year of this one. And here's some information on it that he sent as well, which, I don't know, you probably can't read too much on the screen there, but maybe you can. It was, it's got a strutting turkey cock and the Legend America, and on the in a turtle shell under the guy's signature by LaSalle. Reverse bears an ear of corn framed by separated husks around the word abundance. So really cool. And they did these in bronze, and they also have a version in silver, which is really cool. And they were done by the Medalists Art Company in New York. So very cool piece, Gringo. Thanks for sending that in to share with us. Who else did show and tell? I know Steve Sussman sent one in. Let me bring that up for us. Let's see here. Share that. Steve Sussman sent this one in here. He's got photos. It's an NGC MS70 Australian silver dragon coin, mintage of only 45,000. Beautiful coin, he says. No flaws, but it's not an error coin. But it's a coin that he thinks is going to go up in value over time, or not. He says, I don't know. He just doesn't know, but he loves the coin, and that's what matters. I mean, people ask me all the time, what kind of coins should I collect? And you collect the kind of coins that you collect what you like, and if you like it, then there's the other side right there. 1 ounce of 4/9 fine silver. So thanks for sending that in, Steve. Steve also sent in this one here too. It's 1964 Kennedy double die obverse, and very cool. Now, and if you remember the presentation, though, Sam pointed out differences between varieties and heirs. Heir coins are more like one-offs. Something like this, where the die will actually have the doubling on it, and struck many, many, many coins, that would fall more under variety. And that's the difference on that. Even though a lot of places and a lot of people use those words completely interchangeably. But that's the definition, I guess, that most go off of. One more thing I want to mention to everybody while we are talking about heir coins and whatnot and all that is, if you ever have questions on your coins going forward, I know that Sam offered that you could send emails to him. Another option you have is right here in chat. Live coin Q&A is in here. And they do a show not every Monday night. I think every Monday night, but I think the last Monday of the month. They can correct us if we're wrong. But anyway, they do a show here on YouTube, and they get 5 to 9 people up on the screen. You can send them pictures of coins that you might think are heirs. You might not know. You don't know what's going on. You want to know if it's valuable. And they'll look at them and talk about them live on the show right on a Monday night. So definitely check out their channel if you haven't done so already. And it's a great place. You can send photos in and get opinions on coins, and it don't cost nothing, and it don't even cost nothing. All right, I'm going to bring up our friend Greg Berkovitz. Hopefully Greg's ready. He has some other stuff he wants to go over for show and tell. Let's see. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing fine. How you guys doing?
I'm doing okay. And whenever you're ready, I can go ahead and share your the little talk you want to give us on some of the stuff you want to show us.
Okay. You got it?
I got it right there. So okay. There we
go. It's that time of the year, so I figured I'd pull out one of my presentations on Santa Claus notes, and it's a short presentation, and I'll give you a little bit background on Santa Claus and Santa Claus, and before we get into the notes. December 6th is the feast of St. Nicholas Day, a day the children awake to find gifts left in their shoes. The historical St. Nicholas was the patron saint of archers, sailors, brewers, children, and students. He also earned a reputation for secretly giving gifts, serving as the model for everyone's favorite Christmas gift distributor, Santa Claus, sometimes referred as Jolly St. Nick. Many countries have versions of St. Nicholas. The American version came to us by means of the Dutch settlers in New York. The version of Santa Claus was a much thinner man than we were accustomed to today. The poem, The Night Before Christmas, originally published as A Visit from St. Nicholas by Clement Clark Moore in 1823, forever altered our view of the man and led to Santa's increasing popularity. Moore wrote the Christmas poem for his children, but it was later published widely along with the representation of Santa painted by newspaper artist Thomas Nast in 1870. And as a side, Thomas Nast worked for Harper's Daily and was considered by many the father of the American cartoons. He was a political cartoonist and had multiple Santa Claus caricatures, and some even believe that the Coca-Cola version that is used in their advertisements was an adaptation of Nast's one of Nast's drawings. Anyway, a number of northern states designated Christmas as a state holiday in the Midwest. Since banks often chose vignettes that would lead customers to have faith in the bank, it's not surprising that Santa Claus's vignette was chosen by some banks to acquire confidence and goodwill. The banks may have often hoped that customers would set aside lower denomination notes as a keepsake due to the Santa vignette. Some of the Santa Claus vignettes on U.S. obsolete currency. Now, this is, I want to make that clear. These are obsolete notes prior to the issue of federal currencies put out by various banks and companies. Anyway, a lot of Santa Claus vignettes were portrayed on both the thinner Dutch version of the Sinterklaas and the more Americanized version that we know today. In the mid-1850s, the St. Nicholas Bank in New York City released its own obsolete paper money bearing engraved images of Santa Claus delivering toys and sweets to good girls and boys. The bank issued the whimsical notes made by private printers in several denominations, including the $3 bill. Including the St. Nicholas Bank, 21 banks from 8 states for a total of 27 notes issued obsolete notes featuring Santa Claus. 7 total Santa Claus or St. Nicholas or Santa Claus vignettes were used, although there are no examples of the type 7. It's been lost to history. Here is a St. Nicholas bank note of $5 with one of the vignettes, which we'll get into a little bit later, the variations of the vignettes. Roger Duran, past president of the Society of Paper Money Collector, identified roughly 6 obsolete notes as well as other financial instruments that depicted Santa Claus. The depictions of Santa Claus in these vignettes were varied from a thin Kris Kringle sneaking about bedroom to a large Kringle in a sleigh with reindeers over the rooftops. The various designs illustrates a period of transition where Santa Claus's appearance was not standardized. The fat, jolly appearance of Santa in a red suit wasn't accepted until Thomas Nat's 1811 depiction of Merry Old Santa. Now, here is a copy of a $3, once again, the St. Nicholas banknote with a different vignette, which we'll go into later. Okay, speaking of vignettes, this is the type 1 vignette, the most frequently encountered vignette on obsolete notes. You'll see that by this time, it's a fairly standardized version. You have Santa with a beard smoking a pipe, reindeers, sort of a plump gentleman on top of roofs. This was the most frequently used ones, and it was produced by Rawdon Wright and Hatch Edson. This is the type 1. And here is an example of the St. Nicholas Bank once again, which was probably the most prolific bank with notes, and it's a $2 bill. The type 2 vignette here, produced by Rawdon Wright and Hatch and Edson, you'll notice this is a different version of Santa. It appears he doesn't have a beard. He seems a little bit younger or whatever. And here is an example, once again, from the St. Nicholas Bank, where they used the vignette on a $3 bill, which were not necessarily, $3 bills were not necessarily common. That's the type 2. Here we have the type 3, which is used on the greatest number of different bank issues and greatest number of notes. It was produced by Baldwin and Adams and Company, and this is probably the most typical one used. It is the most typical one used. And we have Santa. He's a round, chubby little guy, beard, smoking a little pipe, reindeers. So this is probably the most typical Santa. And here we have it used on a $20 note from the Pittsfield Bank of Massachusetts. Now, the Type 4, which here we have the Type 4, it's only used on banks from the banks of Milwaukee. This is probably more a Sinterklaas type Santa Claus vignette, and he's sneaking around kids' rooms depositing toys. And it was produced by Topan and Carpenter Company. This is Type 4. And here he is. Here it is on the note where you can see, once again, it's the Bank of Milwaukee, and it's a fairly prominent vignette. Next, we have Type 5, and the Santa Claus Type 5 is used on the $5 and $10 bill, once again, of the Nicholas banknote, done by Topan and Carpenter and Company. And it is a classic Santa Claus vignette, as you can see. And here it is, once again, used on the $5 bill of the Nicholas Bank. Once again, these were all the notes that we have seen are obsolete banknotes because, per se, there are no Santa Claus vignettes used on U.S. currency. Now, the Type 6, here's the Type 6, this is probably a block from a book, I'm guessing, because the actual vignette that is used on the notes is this one here, which you can see is somewhat different and more embellished than the sample provided. And here it is used on the $2 bill from the Knickerbocker Hotel in New York. Now, other financial instruments that depict Santa Claus. Here is a note from the Seatucket Bank, and it's not a note, it's actually a check or a draft, and it was used on, as I said, on a banknote or a draft. Here is typical. You see this time of the year. It appears to be a banknote, but it's from the Bank of Happiness, and it's paid to such and such 365 days of health, happiness, and prosperity. Now, the only time we intersect anything close to Santa Claus on federal currency is that St. Nicholas Bank of New York actually applied and became a member of the national banking system. This is an 1875 series of a U.S. national banknote, commonly known as the Lazy Deuce for obvious reasons. And it's a Friedberg 390. And this is, like I said, about as close as we get to anything on federal currency that has to do with Santa Claus. You'll even find Santa Claus. Here is a stock certificate from the Christmas Wonder Mining Company, 1907. There are a number of stock certificates that somehow use Santa Claus on their certificates. And last but not least, you'll always see some of these during the Christmas time put out by somebody, a typical Federal Reserve note that has Santa in the portrait. And that's all I have for you. If there are any questions, sure.
Very good, Greg. No, those are some great pieces there. No, appreciate you sharing those with us. And yeah, amazing artwork. Yeah, a lot of people really liked that. They were saying in the chat there. Very cool stuff. Let me pull your screen down there.
There we go. Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you again for sharing those.
The engravers that did the obsolete notes were very, very talented and did some beautiful work.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks again for that. And thanks again for the various donations to the club you did for tonight. I'm sure the people are really...
Well, I hope the club makes some money.
Well, we're going to try. We're going to try. Thanks again, Greg. Yep. Appreciate it. And I got one more show and tell here to do, I think, and maybe at least one more. Let me go ahead and pull that up on my screen. I got to do this button, that button, and that button. This one here, John Duff just emailed us, and it looks like it is a French coin that is turned into a knife. So that's pretty cool there. Here's the other side. This is a French silver 5 francs, 1847. And looks like there's a knife inside of it that's all taken out there. Very cool. Not quite a Swiss Army knife. Is that a French Army knife? I don't know. Very cool. Thanks for sending that in, Duff. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Don, did you have show and tell as well? I think you wanted to show something.
Yeah, of course I'm paying attention.
All right. I don't know. I haven't heard you. I heard you've been quiet.
But you're busy. I'm enjoying the show.
All right.
Man.
Me too.
All right. So as you can see, I was able to find some Christmas related chips or limited edition chips, normally to like 1,500 or so. And so we'll actually, for our giveaway, we'll actually be giving those away as well, and I will personally ship those out to the people who win those. So just thought it'd be fun to give away a little Christmas something.
And Happy New Year 1998, it looks like.
Yeah, I think the other side. What's the other side? It's just Bronco Bills. Oh, Happy Holidays. There you go. Yeah.
What was that? Santa Claus or the Frosty the Snowman drinking a Frosty one?
Yes. He likes his cold ones.
That's very cool. Very cool. All right, so I guess we got a few extra giveaways for tonight. Awesome.
Yep.
And I guess speaking of giveaways, I mean, unless you want me to do one more quick show and tell here, I guess I can do one more quick show and tell.
Do one more quick show and tell. Everyone who hasn't put your name in a chat, put it in a chat.
Last chance to get your name in on the free giveaways tonight.
One more minute or so. Yep.
This one here, I figured I'd just show this. This is a Franklin $50 with a turkey counter stamped right in the Liberty Bell. Since Gringo showed his turkey medal for kind of like a late Thanksgiving show and tell, figured I'd show that. Actually, I got a microscope sitting right here on my desk. Let's take a look at it, right? So you can see it a little better. There you go. It's a proof Franklin $50 with a turkey counter stamped right in the center of it. And that was done by Mel Wax, who's famous for doing a lot of counter stamp coins. And this was one of the very first things he ever did a counter stamp of. And I bought this on eBay a couple weeks before Thanksgiving. Someone just put it up there and didn't kind of know what it was. And I think I got a good price on it. But I was happy to get that one. So there we go. That would be my show and tell then. All right. Let's do some giveaways. Let me go ahead and add. I guess I gotta add some casino chips to the list here. All right. So first up, I guess, is we have this one right here. It is a 1981 U.S. proof set. This was donated to the club by Greg Berkovitz, who just talked to us about some Santa Claus notes. It's got a little bit of haziness on some of the coins, but still an 81 proof set that someone's going to love.
Absolutely.
Who's the winner of this one?
Eunice Torres.
Remember, if you win any of the items tonight, or if you buy any of the items in the auction tonight, either way, I need an email from you with your information so we can get you stuff. How about a 1978 D Ike dollar graded PCGS MS64? Again, this was a donation to the Coin Club. Nubs Hunt's Treasure.
Yes, sir.
All right. Congratulations to Nubs. That is yours. Let me set some of this stuff to the side. How about one of our amazing Glendale Coin Club medals from 2019? And this one's a copper version. And it belongs to Janelle.
It does now.
Janelle Sonoda. Perfect. Congrats to you. What's next? This was a donation to the Coin Club. This is a 1961 Panama half Balboa. These were struck by the U.S. Mint right on 90% silver planchet, same size as a Kennedy $half. And that's going to belong to Michael Thacker. Perfect. Congrats to you. We got here a ½ ounce of silver from Canada. It's a $2 coin. First special service force. And it's got the star and the maple leaf. This side's got the queen. ½ ounce of silver to Buchanan's. Congratulations to Buchanan's. Just got yourself a ½ ounce of silver. This one here is Christmas Joy, a 1 ounce silver round donated to the club by Gordon O'Rourke of City Coin. 1 troy ounce, 999 fine silver going to Jack Gelberd. Congratulations, Jack. And thanks for playing. You got 3 that you want to give away there? So
I do.
Pick a few names.
First, we'll do the 12 Days of Christmas from the Santa Fe. And Michael, send all your info to Mike. He'll get that to me so I can get these shipped out to you.
Yep.
So the first winner, it's upside down, sorry, is Smoose House Hobbies.
Smouse House.
Oh, Smouse House. Sorry, my bad.
Smouse House Hobbies. Congratulations. Yep. You get that chip there. What's the next chip?
The next one is from the Poker Palace. Merry Christmas. And that one goes to a Mr. Randay.
Randay's a winner.
Yes, sir.
And what about that snowman drinking a Frosty?
Snowman drinking a Frosty goes to that feller.
W's, Coins, and Hobbies. Awesome. Make sure you guys claim your prizes by sending me an email with your information. And very generous, Don, to donate those as well.
Yep. And then if everyone remembers from last month, my show and tell, or what I had showing off, was this nickel, this nicely toned 1913 Type 1 Buffalo nickel. Mike is going to actually auction that off, and then all the money will go to the club. So, and then I'll mail that out to the winner of that too. So
should we just start our auction with that one? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Why not? You can do it anytime you want.
But, we got you up on the screen. So remember, here's how we do auctions. We're going to just put things under the camera here. There's a list of the regular auction items. Everything's owned by the club. And now I guess this nickel here, too, is owned by the club. We start everything at $1. And all you got to do is type your bid into the chat. And I'll count down in the chat 3, 2, and 1. I won't say it aloud because of lag. This is a 1913, you said? Is it Type 1, Type 2, what's it?
Type 1.
All right, Buffalo Nickel. Let's just type this in the chat. Buffalo Nickel, Type 1, donated by Don. And then we're going to do opening bid $1. Now, what I do is tomorrow sometime, I won't do it right after the auction tonight, or after our meeting tonight. Sometime tomorrow, I will actually send out PayPal invoices to everybody. So tonight, you're going to need, if you win anything, whether it's a auction item or if you want to give away, you still need to email. But if you want anything in the auction, you need to send me an email, and in that email, I'll assume that that's your PayPal address, and then I'll be okay to send you a PayPal invoice. If you don't want to pay by PayPal, then you need to tell me in that email, I'd rather send you a Cash App or Venmo or Zelle or a check or a money order or whatnot. Otherwise, you'll get a PayPal invoice from me sometime tomorrow. And I see a lot of people bidding. Usually we don't bid until I do that in the chat right there, typing in a lot number. This one wasn't on the list, so I'm putting in lot number 0, opening bid of $1. I see Harrison bidding $69. That's probably not a real bid. So I'll just delete that. Actually, I deleted the wrong one. I deleted Gringo's bid, but anyway, start the bidding. Michael Thacker's at $2. I don't know if you guys. I don't know what you were even bidding on before there. Michael Thacker's leading at $2. Let's start the bidding after I type it into the chat. So I know there was a lot of bidding and stuff. Don, you want to show off the coin a little more or say anything about it? It's got some nice toning.
Let me see if I can move it to the. I've never actually changed cameras in this thing, so let's see if I can.
All you go
change
to the gear where it says cam mic, and you're able to quickly slide. There you are. Now you're on your camera or your microscope.
Oh yeah.
NCF jumps it to $17.
Yeah, so you can see the toning. Nice 1913, solid. Let's flip her over. Nice full horn. It's not. I don't think it's Unk. It's probably an AU coin, but it's got toning on both sides.
Nice.
This is how it came into the shop. I bought it, so don't know.
This one does not include professional photos by MKRC. This is Don's coin, and he can take photos maybe, but he'll be mailing this one out. Harrison goes to $19. And Gringo, if you were bidding earlier, I deleted you, and you were bidding before. So if you want to get in, you got to type your bid in again. I got Harrison leading at 23. But yeah, that's a pretty looking coin.
Yeah. See, Mikey says his original toning. Mikey, I don't know.
Gringo says $20. Probably.
It's just really nice and pretty.
It's probably. I don't think. I mean, why? I don't know why you'd artificially tone it like that. I mean, I don't. And nickels do tone like that, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't see anything about that screams artificial or fake. And
yeah, I don't know if it's a high enough grade or worthy of sending in to not waste, but to put the money into it that way. It's just fun to have.
Not. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
But then again, I got a PCGS unboxing video coming out probably tomorrow of a submission where there's a lot of coins someone sent in that were not worth sending in to get graded, probably. So anyway, and that person's right here talking to us on the channel right now. A bunch of low ball like Sacagawea dollars and low grade toned Ike dollars, and
I don't know what you're talking about.
Low ball Susan B. Anthony dollar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you'll be able to see it in the video tomorrow. Steve Woods goes to $22. Steve Woods, $22 on this one right here. You know what I'm talking about.
I might know what you're talking about.
Harrison, I'm not going to take a 10-cent bid increment. Come on. No, it's got to be at least, 50 cents or something, or $1. I mean, remember, all the proceeds go to the Glendale Coin Club. I'm just going to go ahead and remove that. Steve Woods, you're leading at $22 on this one. And I guess the other thing is everyone pays $5 shipping. So everyone's $5 shipping. Whether you win one thing or whether you win all 15 or I guess now 16 items in the auction. So sounds good. All right, Gringo is at 20. Steve Woods goes 22. And I'm not going to count it aloud. You'll just see me type it in the chat. And you're not sure Harrison is legit second sus bid. I don't know either. But I give everybody a chance. If they win something and I'm not familiar with it, they have to pay immediately. But Harrison, just so you know, this is not a joke. If you win something, you must pay for it, or you're going to be banned from my channel. Not just getting a little slap on the hand. So this is serious. Got Steve Woods leading. And we'll see if that holds up. It was Steve Woods at 22, I believe. Any other bids come in? I don't think so. You never got told it was real? Well, it's real. It's real. Now you know. I didn't know what you thought it was, but all right. There you go. It goes to Steve Woods for $22, Don.
Excellent. All right. Well, you'll get me that information.
And that one will come from Don, Steve. So if you win anything else tonight, and Don's paying shipping on that one.
I am.
So, there we go. Now we get to the other. If you win any of these other lots, they'll get sent straight from me. And again, it'll be $5 shipping total for whatever you win on that one. But no, we're not messing around here, Shannon. Absolutely. All right, so here we go. Next up's going to be lot number 1, and I'm going to go full screen, Don. We'll still be able to hear you if you need to chime in, or if you want to bid on something, I guess. So what's this first one?
Put it in chat.
Or you could just put it in chat, too. This here was donated by Greg Berkovitz. I can't even put it under my screen there, but this is a folder. It's the Complete Lincoln Collection. Well, it's the Complete Lincoln Collection, and it's got some information there. It's from 2009 to 2010. So it's got all the different cents from 2009. Okay. It's got the, what is it, Brilliant Uncirculated. It's got the satin finish. And it's got satin finish from Philly and Denver. And then Brilliant Uncirculated from Philly and Denver. Okay. Looks like that's what it has. And then from 2010, it's got the new Shield Sense and the Abraham Lincoln Proof Presidential Dollar. So it makes a nice little display. Plus you get, what is it, $1.20 in cash back right there. This was donated by Greg Berkovitz. And we got Evil Lenny up to $5 on this item here. So there you go. The complete Lincoln collection. Nice little display. Gringo would bid $10 on it. Evil Lenny says 11. Sharkbait Lucky says 12. Gringo goes to $13. Good to see everybody here. Thanks everybody for being part of our Glendale Coin Club meetings, and thanks for all the support. Especially thanks to all the support you give our guest speakers. It's just makes a big difference when I can tell people, yeah, we're going to have 40, 50 people watching, and versus telling them, oh yeah, we're going to have like 10 people watching. Yeah, makes a big difference, and they get excited about it, and I think it makes for better presentations, and really appreciate all your support. It doesn't work without you guys. Hello, Beth. How are you doing? Totes, you'll have to buy it now. Lincoln Central. Well, it does have his name on it. Lincoln, the complete Lincoln collection. But we have Gringo leading at $13. Remember, I type in 321 sold like that. If I see another bid come in, I might have to undo my sold because of lag. I'll check, and I can even share my screen. If something comes in before I type sold, it's a live bid. If it comes in after I type sold, it's not. So make sure you don't try to snipe in a bid at the last second. You might not be successful in doing so, because there is lag on the internet, believe it or not. But that one there, we got to write down who won that one. That was that there. I think it was Gringo at $13. Make sure you guys all get in Gringo's giveaway. He's got a giveaway going on all this month on his channel. He's giving away over $100 of stuff on his channel right now. He's giving away over $100 of stuff. Gringo, did you really say you want me to have it? Merry Christmas. You don't have to do that. That's pretty generous of you. Come on. All right. Let's see here. Next up, lot number 2. You guys are crazy. All right. Let's see here. This is lot number 2. This was donated to the channel, or to the, not to the channel, but to the Coin Club. This here is a 2008 Philadelphia Sacagawea dollar in a pretty high grade, PCGS MS66. 2008 in an MS66 condition. Very nice. And it starts at $1. Starts at face value. Very nice of you. Very nice of you, Gringo. $2008. Any interest in this? Greg's starting it out at $3. Marmello, it's got to be even dollar numbers. Come on. It's got to be even dollar numbers. Can't get too crazy with the numbers. Michael Thacker goes to 4. Evil Lenny to 5. Okay, Marmello bids $5.50. Okay, I'll take a bit of $5.50. I'll take a bit of $5.50. Oh, boy. Mr. Marmello at $5.50 again on a MS66. Marmello's leading at $5.50. Harrison, we already got a prior 5 and a prior $5.50 beating you there. And again, this is a real auction, real bids. Greg, you're at 6. Greg's in the lead at 6. My phone's buzzing for something here. Oh, people claiming their wins from the Coin Club. Nice. Nice. Greg Berkovitz is in the lead at $6. Marmello. Got to be real bid. It's got to be real bid. Shannon Smith at $10. Shannon Smith is at $10. And again, there it is. 2008 Philadelphia. This was donated to the Coin Club for us. So thank you very much to the donor. You know who you are. You told me not to make a big deal about who you are, so I won't mention that it was somebody that's watching us right now and that I already saw in the chat. And if you really wanted to know who it is, all you got to do is look at the Google document of the auction I sold this in about a month ago. But that's okay. We're not going to make a big deal out of it. We're not going to make a big deal out of it. Shannon Smith is at $10. Marmello goes $12. Okay. Marmello's at $12. Harrison, you just got timed out. You're putting numbers in the chat. That's called bidding. So, all right. Marmello's at $12 on this one. Oh, it wasn't me that donated there. It wasn't me. I'm not on that one. Not on that one. And that one, it looks like Mr. Marmello gets it for $12. All right, let's set that to the side. Next up, we got a couple presidential dollars. 2 coins in one auction right here. 2 coins in one auction. Again, this is donated. What do we got there? Looking through windows. Can't even just lurk and read. What you talking about, Nubs? Not in Louisiana. Okay, well, anyway, this is lot number 3. 2 presidential dollars. They're both James Monroe presidential dollars. That's my phone buzzing there again. They're both 2008 Philadelphias. They're both first day of issues graded PCGS MS66. One of them is position A, and one of them is graded position B. That just refers to the edge lettering. So one of them points one direction, one of them points the other direction. Some collectors actually care about the third side of the coin. Some collectors care about the third side of the coin, and here you get both varieties. So there you go. We're starting this one at $1. We really should be starting it at $2 because it's $2 face value, but there you go. 2 coins. Both PCGS MS66. You got a position A and a position B. Both first day of issue as well. So that's very cool. And I think we have Michael Thacker at $5 on these. Michael Thacker is leading at $5. And thanks again to the donor on that. JW, it looks like we had a prior $5 bid. Ron Noseworthy, how you doing? Ron's at $7. JW goes to $10. JW's first on my screen at 10. Remember, make sure you guys are watching live and on live chat. If you're watching the YouTube video and it's live, there should be a red dot next to where it says live on the screen in the chat. At the top of your chat, it'll either say top chat or live chat. Make sure it says live chat. Shannon Smith goes to 11. Got some really cool items coming up still, so hopefully you guys can stick with us for the next few lots. Shannon Smith at $11. And did Shannon win those? I think so. Congratulations. This one here. What was Monroe known popular for? The Monroe Doctrine. I mean, that was a big frickin' deal, right? Telling the rest of the world, stay out of our hemisphere, basically. All you European countries, stay in that hemisphere. Stay out of our hemisphere. This hemisphere's for America. That's kind of bold. That was kind of bold, wasn't it? I think that's kind of a big deal. All right. Lot number 4. This here is a 1934 silver certificate donated by Greg Berkovitz, who just talked to us a moment ago. This is a gutter fold error note, and you can see right there, it's got some extra little bit of a paper and some ink missing on that little area right there. And Greg wanted us to learn about this a little bit. So the winner of this will get this information here that he printed up, explaining how the gutter fold error note is made. So a note like this is printed in 3 printings. First, you print the reverse side, the back side. And the back side on this one's fine. No error, no problem. Then they print the front. Okay? And then the third printing's where they put the seal and then the numbers. The seal and the serial numbers. So this is called a single gutter fold. And so what happened is the first printing of this one went through fine. First printing's fine. Then between the first and the second printing, the sheet, remember this was a big sheet of paper at one point, the sheet folded right there. So the next note probably has a fold down here, and the note to the side probably has a fold up here. So between the first and second printing, this folded and then was printed again. And then after, it was unfolded, after it was cut. And there you go. Here's the information that Greg wrote up on it, and that'll be included with this note. And we have bids all over the place so far. It looks like the high bid so far is Shannon Smith at $21 for the 1935, Series 1935 silver certificate. Gutterfold Air. Pretty cool piece. Aaron Krause goes to 25. And thanks again to Greg for the donation. That's a pretty cool one. 25, Aaron Krause in the lead. Amanda says, my sister, Kittle's sister, says, Greg is so nice adding printed knowledge to most of his donation. It does help. It does help. And just from experience, I know when I do my things on my website, Amanda, if I just list a coin and the pictures and don't write up anything, that's fine. But if I write a nice description and tell people why it's so cool, I usually get better prices. So, I mean, it helps. I mean, because you've got to have the story along with it. It's cool. Buchanan's at 26. Aaron 28. Sorry, Aaron, I was rambling on a little bit too much there. I'm not trying to drag this on. Don't worry. Aaron Krause at 28. Well, and by having a nice write-up like that and a nice story, it can help a beginner collector that might not even know what that is, understand what it is, and they say, oh, okay, I want to bid on it. Like Marmello bidding $30 right there. And then Aaron going to 35. Alfred's like, hi, Beth. Aaron says, it's for the club. I agree. And it is that time of year. Buy yourself a gift and give back a little to the club, too. That doesn't hurt. Marmello, your bid came in a little bit late there. It was actually quite late. I know you're in New Zealand with a bunch of lag, but all right, that goes to Aaron Krause for 35. Sorry about that, Marmello, but I thought his 35 was done there. Next up, we got lot number 5. Bang lag, I know. And Marmello, I know you're bidding again. Hopefully we'll be able to get payment, because this isn't just my auction. This is for the coin club. So hopefully we won't have issues collecting payment. I know, because I know your New Zealand banks and stuff are a little bit unfriendly sometimes, but hopefully that's not an issue. Here we go. This is the 1990 W Eisenhower dollar, 90% silver. The Eisenhower centennial of his birth, 1890 to 1990, 100th birthday for Ike. Commemorative silver dollar. Vern's starting us out at $5. JW jumps it right to 25. for the commemorative silver dollar. JW at $25 on the Ike dollar. Is your collection of Ike dollars complete unless you have the 1990 Ike dollar? I don't know. I wouldn't think so. Steve goes to 27, but Buchanan's was first at 27. I'm sorry. Buchanan's is first at 27. And then JW goes to 30. JW goes to 30. Actually, you know what? There's a lot of people bidding, and I'm not going to mess around. I have a lot of these. I just bought some of these. I wouldn't say tons of them, but I have a few of these. So if anybody wants these and you're willing to pay the club the shipping, I'll sell them to the club at my cost. And if anybody wants them at $28, you can have one at $28. So I see there's a lot of bidders over that. I'd rather sell a bunch of them at $28 than just one of them for some crazy number. So we're going to do buy it now, price $28. Whoever's in, let me know. Just confirm. Buchanan's wants one, 28. So I'm going to put Buchanan's. Fish and Hank. JW. Very, very good. Very, very good. Steve, let me know if you wanted one. Jason wants one. Steve, confirm one and any left over. I do have a few, but I'll just put a note here that Steve maybe more than one. I'll email. We'll talk on email there. To at least be able to get one here. Okay, so I got Buchanan's, Fish and Hank's, JW, Jason, and Steve confirmed. If I missed anybody, you better let me. Thomas Tone. Awesome. I don't know if I got a lot of leftovers, but we got a few of them. All right. What's next on the list? Lot number 6, right there. Mr. Marmello. Well, I guess there's an awkward YouTube payment. Buy it now. Merry Christmas message. Jeez, I don't know what the hell that is. But Mr. Marmello with a $55.59 New Zealand super chat. So that's how we got to do payment. Awkward super chat New Zealand payments. Okay. Crying out loud. 55.59 as well, right? All right. I don't know what to do with that, Marmello. I don't know what to make of that. But Merry Christmas message 22 the mile. I don't know what even that means really. But thank you, Marmello, for the support. Very good. Aaron wanted one as well. Sorry if I missed you, Aaron. Thank you very much. I got you written down. Aaron, you're good. But next up, we got a silver Ike dollar. This was also donated to us. This is a PCGS MS66 silver, 40% silver Eisenhower dollar in the old green holder, old green labeled holder, PCGS. This is the old 2-piece holder. Came out just after the Rattler slabs. So it's a pretty scarce holder to begin with, too. And it's a scarce version of it. It doesn't even say PCGS at the top of the label like many of them do. The PCGS is there on the back. But we got bids up to 25, now up to $30 for the silver Eisenhower. 40% silver, MS66 condition. And again, thank you for the donation to the club. Creator Zaw goes to 35 after green goes $32 bid. That's okay. You guys can email me, Aaron. That's okay. And then when I don't answer that email, just email me again, and we'll eventually we'll get there. Alfred says yes, exactly. Alfred said that definitely was an awkward YouTube payment, wasn't it? Buchanan's at 37, Creator's at 38. Yeah, the old holders are pretty cool. They're very fragile though. Don't drop this on the floor. Don't drop this. Buchanan's goes to 44. And because these are so fragile, I'm probably going to spend the extra money to ship this like in a small flat rate priority box, just because even if I wrap it up in a bubble mailer, I don't want to risk it. especially this time of year with the way the Postal Service is, got tons more packages than usual, and they're probably throwing stuff all over the place. And yeah, 44 Buchanan's in the lead. And that is a wiener. That is it. Next up, lot number 7. Congratulations. Thank you for the bids, everybody. Birth year, had to have it? Well, good. There you go. That's a good enough reason. Have I ever popped one of those apart for fun? Alfred, I haven't popped one apart for fun, but I was, putting my coins in and out of my case at the Long Beach show one time and grabbed one of those, and it slipped out of my hand and went right onto the concrete floor, and that outer ring shatters into several pieces. So I've done that. So I have taken them apart inadvertently. So next up, 1984 Christmas round. Looks like it's got some snowmen. It's actually a snow family. A snow family, Noel. And on the back, it's pretty cool. It's got a Christmas tree. And it says, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year over and over. 1 troy ounce, 999 fine silver, and at the bottom it's dated to 84. High bid right now is Steve Woods at 27. Greg Berkovitz takes it to 29. Yeah, Creators All. When you think about it, with the cost of coin grading, when those holders were done, it was about 1989 is when they used that holder. So Eisenhower's weren't that old at the time, and how many people were sending those in for grading? Greg Berkovitz goes to 33 after Marmelo's 32.50 in a tree. Greg Berkovitz at $33. Marmelo goes to 35 Christmas trees. I guess those are equal to dollars. All you want for Christmas is your 2 front teeth. Is that true? Hello, Cherie. How are you? Marmelo leading at $35. And we'll see if that holds up. Retain even higher premium than old holder before. No, I got you. I got you, Creators. I got you. But hey, it was his birth year. You got to have it if it's your birth year, This next one here, thank you very much for the bids. Marmelo won that for 35. Correct. Okay. This next one is lot number 8. It's a Type 2 Silver Eagle. Just to let you know, before I even put the bid in there, it's got a little tiny bit of haze on the right side. A little bit of haze. So just wanted to let you be aware of that. Timmy, how you doing? So here it is, 2021 Silver Eagle. Again, just a touch of haze. You can see it. If you get it just at the wrong angle, you can see it there. But if you get it straight in the light, you don't see it at all. But you get it right at the wrong angle, it's there. And that is the new Type 2 reverse. Vern, Green goes first at 25. And Vern was also at 25, but Green goes at 25. There's a little scuff in the plastic there. That's not a mark on the coin. The coin's great. Just the only thing I noticed was that touch of haziness. $25 for a Silver Eagle. Where can you get that? Well, right here, apparently. Is that going to hold up? We shall see. Gringo OG 22 leading at $25. Where's the type 1? I don't have a type 1 right now. Ron Noseworthy will take it to $30. Just getting in ahead of Steve's bid of $30. Ron Noseworthy, how you doing at $30? Mr. Marmello with a New Zealand $72.35 super chats. I mean, says ho ho kiwi tree something money waves go the pond waves. Well, makes perfect sense to me, but thank you very much for the $72.35 super chat, Marmello. That's very generous. Steve Woods goes to $33. Oh, I'm sure that, I mean, I want creators all, that's the point. That's the point. I wanted to show that off. I didn't want to hide that from anybody. That's fine. Steve Woods at 33. And it might be something that could be cleaned off, maybe not. I have no idea. I'm not messing with it. Steve Woods at $33. Carmelo wanted to buy one of those at 28 as well, man. Okay, I'll write it down. Thank you. And that ended up going to, it looks like, Steve Woods for 33. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Next up, what do we got next? How about, if you didn't win it for free in our giveaway earlier, Gordon donated another one of these to the club. Gordon O'Rourke of City Coin donated this, and the one we used for the giveaway. So I decided to do one for free for viewers and one in auction in case you missed it. Christmas Joy. Starting at $1 for the Christmas Joy. 1 troy ounce, 999 fine silver. The snowflake side's pretty sweet too. Thanks again, Gordon, for the donation. Mac takes it to 25. $25. Mac McBride on the 1 ounce silver Christmas. Great stocking stuffer indeed. Aaron Krause takes it to 28. Aaron's like, I think it's a great stocking stuffer, maybe even for himself. Who knows? Who knows? Needs some color? Maybe. Maybe. If you buy it, you can do whatever you want with it. Aaron Krause leading at 28. These staples are danger close. Yeah, they're up there, aren't they? That wasn't me, though. That wasn't me. Those were Gordon's staples. But, hey, look, they're not into the plastic or anything. They're not touching the coin. And they are flat clinch. So... Gotta get that stapler. Mac McBride came in at 29 just before I typed in sold. I will share my screen to show you just so you believe me. And I want everybody to make sure. Barely got it in time. Let me go share screen, share screen. You guys will be able to see right here. I went, well, let's go all the way. Here's the bid of 28. I go 3, 2, 1, 29, and then it's sold. So I need to undo the sold. We'll remove that. 28. Now Aaron's bidding 30. Thank you, guys. Looks good to me. Looks good to me. Just be really careful with that, trying to snipe the bids. I know there's lag and delay, so maybe it's not even intentional. But thank you guys for the bids, and thank you for understanding that that's what we got to do here on the interwebs. So Aaron Krause at $30. And that time it sold. All right, you ready for probably one of the coolest things? Probably one of the coolest things. If you haven't seen it before. If you've seen them before, then you know exactly what this is. But Greg Berkovitz donated this to us. And this here is a circa 1870s $5 State of Louisiana baby bond donated by Greg Berkovitz. And let's take a look at it first. There we go. $5 State of Louisiana. Up top, it does say series of 187 and then a dash under a line underneath it. So it's not yet filled in with a date. So it's 1870s. When I really looked at this, I did notice in the fine print back here, because I read all the fine print, it says here that this is issued under the Constitution of the State of Louisiana, adopted in 1879. So my thinking is they really should call this in 1879 at least, because they wouldn't know the Constitution was adopted in 1879 unless it was at least 1879. Anyway, most people just call them 1870s. That's what they call. But anyway, this is a State of Louisiana baby bond. And it's not a baby bond because there's a baby on it. Greg printed up some information for us. Thank you, Greg. At the close of the Civil War, the federal government put a huge tax on state banknotes. So the state of Louisiana issued small banknotes and disguised them like this as an interest-bearing bond. So these $5 baby bonds have a picture of a baby on the front, but the term baby bond refers to any bond in the amount of less than $1,000. So it's a baby bond because of the denomination, not because of the baby on it. So because they made this a bond instead of currency, or instead of a banknote, they didn't have to pay the tax. But he says everybody knew that they were worth the same as a federally approved currency, so they were used throughout the state. So, Cation Coiner says he's got some of these baby notes. Well, very cool. Very cool. Well, he's from Louisiana. I'd expect you guys to have some down there. NC Prospectors went to 11. Fish and Hank went to 15. Gringo at 20. Fish and Hank at 21. And this one's in pretty good shape, too. I mean, real nice printing. I looked around on the interweb looking on these. A lot of them have punched out holes in them. They have various numbers of coupons left on this. This one is number 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I don't know if you have ones that go all the way back to a number 1. I've seen a lot of them that have even 7 and 8 missing, or some of. So I don't know how complete, or if this is totally complete. You guys might want to do your research on that, or if Greg's in the chat, he might be able to tell you, oh, yes, this is complete, or, oh, no, this is missing 1 through 6. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you that. But did other states do this as well? I don't know on that, Creators. I don't know. Fish and Hank goes to 25. Fish and Hank's first at 25. But it's just a real cool piece of history and just a real cool design, too. Gringo goes to 27. For the baby bond. From Louisiana. Nice artwork. I think so, too. Fish and Hank goes to 30. Louisiana typically does its own thing, so has betting like Gringo on his birthday. I'd say Louisiana is the only one. Yeah, that's probably good thinking too. Fish and Hank's first at 30. Steve Woods goes to 33. $33. Steve Woods for the $5 State of Louisiana bond. You bet and lost, huh? Sometimes those casinos will get you. That's for sure, Gringo. Thank you very much, Steve. That's a real cool piece. And thanks again to Greg for that donation to the club. That was not only just a great donation, but just a cool little piece of history that I'm guessing more than half of the people watching right now probably never even seen one of those before. So awesome to be able to have that. Next up, lot number 11, I think, comes after 10. And that's right here. Another donation from Gordon. Thank you again, Gordon, for the Christmas silver donations. This one here comes in a nice plastic card. Well, card covered in plastic. So you could even write to Kittle from whoever buys this, right? You could do that. You don't have to, of course, don't do that. Merry Christmas, season's greetings. 999 fine silver. Starting at $1. Merry Christmas. And it has the snowflake reverse, 1 troy ounce, 999 fine silver. Mac takes it right to $20. Steve says 21. Buchanan says 25 after Greg's 23. So Buchanan's is first at 25. Greg goes 26. Max says 28. We got Mac McBride at 28 currently in the lead. Fishin' Hank says $30. Greg 31. Got Greg Berkovitz first bid at 31. Name tag and all, yeah. This might be pretty old too. I'm guessing this wasn't done this year. I'm guessing this was probably done years and years ago. So we got Buchanan's at 32, Mr. Marmello 32 and a half, Greg Berkovitz 34, Fish and Hank 35. Fish and Hank at $35. Marmello goes to 37. Mr. Marmello's at 37. Guessing it was done in the 80s? Probably not a bad guess. 80s or 90s, yeah. Mr. Marmello, $37. Albert said probably older than me. And did that hold up? Did Marmello get one? I think he did. Mr. Marmello, Merry Christmas. Very cool. Speaking of very cool, what do you think about that one? What do you think about that? This was a donation from Dorian of DNL Bullion. Those of you locally and that go to the shows know him. So there we go. This is a circa 1936 85 millimeter mother and child medal done by Henry Dropsy, was his name. And let me just show you this piece. This is a heavy piece of bronze here. Nice relief on it. It's got a couple little dark spots on it. It's 1936. You know, it's old. The other's nothing on the reverse. No engravings, no markings. But there we go. That's a pretty sweet piece right there. Let me just show you what I was able to find. I did a little bit of research on this. That's how I found out what it was, that it was done in 1936. Let me just show you this. Let me share my screen for just a second. This here is a website you might be familiar with. It's eBay. It's called eBay. So I searched Dropsy Mother and Child Design, and They got a few here for $94, $99. These are smaller versions, 23 millimeter, 42 millimeter. This is the one we have right here, 85 millimeters on each edge. There's one available for $434.95 plus $27 shipping from France. And all these are France, so I'm guessing this is a French metal. And based on one of the edge markings where it's marked bronze, it looks like other French metals I've had. So, and then this one here, I don't know what size this one is. That's $175. So 42 millimeter, $95, but 85, $434. I don't know. Is it worth a few $100? I don't know. It was donated to the club. I just figured I'd show you that information because it might make the club a few extra bucks if you guys know what it is. I don't know. We're starting it at $1 though. That's what I know. We're starting it at $1. And Vern's leading at $20. So there we go. It was donated to us. The guy that donated to us. There's no I didn't find any sold listings of that particular piece. I did look for sold listings, Mac. I did. And you guys are welcome to look around and see if you can find anything pretty quick. There were some that sold on that site WorthPoint, but I don't subscribe to that, so I can't see sold prices. But there you go. Oh, yeah, it's it's heavy. It's heavy. I'm going to have to ship that priority mail for sure. But you'd still only pay $5 shipping. It all evens out. Gringo goes to $25. Gringo is first at $25. But yeah, that was a donation from Dorian of DNL Bullion, and I'm guessing he didn't look it up because if he saw one on eBay going for $400, he probably was just doing it to the club. Thanks, Dorian. But $25 to Gringo, OG 22 so far. 25 to Gringo. You might be getting a steal. I have no idea. All I can see is what a couple people are asking on eBay. And remember, that's just asking prices. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. I don't love it either, Gringo, but sometimes there's, that's maybe where the information lies, Live coin Q&A takes it to $30 right before I type in sold. Stephen Vern came in at 26, but live coin Q&A is at 30. Again, and if you guys are trying to do any research on this, which I encourage you to try to figure it out too, because it would help the club. Right there is the guy's name, Henry Dropsy. Or Dropsy, I have no idea. Just a nice, well done metal. And it probably is done by the Paris Mint. I don't know if I can get the edge mark. Let me see which side it's even on. This side right here. I'm probably never going to get the camera to focus right on that edge. But what it says is that there's a little mark, which I can hardly make out, and it says bronze. So that's all it really is marked with. Paula goes to 35. Janelle was at 33. Paula at 35. Yeah, I couldn't find any that sold, but. And there's several, and it looks like there are several different sizes, but this is definitely the 85 millimeter. Paula at $35. And that is sold if it holds. Probably worth over 100. Could be, Steve. Could be. But oh yeah, if you just look up just his name without mother and child design, there's like over 100 things on eBay. I think all kinds of different, really cool stuff. But that's going to the live coin Q&A. Live coin Q&A for $35, unless I messed something up there. I don't think I did. Very cool piece. Speaking of cool pieces, we got a few more coming up. 3 items left. And thanks again to Dorian for that donation. And again, all the proceeds of this do go to the club. So awesome, awesome. This is another donation from Dorian, DNL Bullion. 2005 First Strike Silver Eagle, PCGS MS69. There we go. Starting at $1. Yeah, that might be a really nice one. I don't know, Paul. You might have really scored on that one. Or again, I couldn't find any sold listings, but either way, it's a real cool piece. 2005, First Strike, Silver Eagle, PCGS, MS69, dudes. Vern takes it to 25. Mac goes to 28. Mac at 28. No, not tonight, Beth. Not tonight. Buchanan's jumps it to $35. Not tonight, Beth. Buchanan's at 35. Spike Diehead and Greg came in a little late with lower bids. There's a prior 35. Greg goes to 36. Oh, Creators On. What I like about the older metals like that is just like how much detail and just the way they look, that like the metals the Mint makes in modern times is just not even comparable. It's just there's no like, I don't know. They don't take pride in the art anymore. It seems like they're more worried about mass production. Muscle Shell, how you doing? Going to $40. Muscle Shell at $40. Thanks for being here, Muscle Shell. Good to see you. And this is for the First Strike, 2005. Buchanan's goes to 41. PCGS, MS69. Bill 456789, how you doing? Good to see you. Buchanan's at 41. Yes, Aaron, that's true. This First Strike by PCGS does not mean this was the first strike off of a die. Did they actually say on the back here? On the newer ones, they actually tell you what that means on the back of the label. This is an older version of the First Strike. It just means that it was sent to them in the first 30 days of since the coin was released. That's all it means. 42 Muscle Shell. Muscle Shell at 42. Remember, if you win anything in the auction tonight, you need to see it. Send me an email so I have your email address, and then I'll send you a PayPal invoice tomorrow. If you don't want to pay PayPal, in that email you send me tonight, tell me, I don't want to pay PayPal. I'd rather pay, and then fill in that blank, either check, money order, Zelle, Google Pay, Cash App, Venmo. We got all kinds of stuff. I guess. Muscle Shell at 42. Steve Woods goes to 43. Creators on. I will agree with that in part, that First Strike doesn't mean much. It doesn't mean like the coin's better or worse than something that came a month later. But if you say it's meaningless, I kind of disagree with that, because so many collectors out there actually care about it for whatever reason. I don't know what reason that is, but there are collectors that do care. I don't know if they really believe that it means better coins, or if they just want labels to match the rest of their collection. But for whatever reason, if you have a coin in the First Strike holder and then one that's not, the First Strike's going to sell for more. So it means something to somebody for some reason. But anyway, Steve Woods at 43. We do not accept Vietnamese dong, Aaron. We do not accept Vietnamese dong. Sorry. Silver Eagles are great coins. All right. Is that going to be sold? I think it is. Did any other bids come in? I got to let the lag catch up. I'm watching this on two different devices, so I got one is a little more laggy, and I'm just making sure no other bids came in. So thank you, Steve Woods, at 43. Congrats on that. Now, you ready? You ready for another cool one sent in by Greg Berkovitz? Donation to the club. Amazing. Pretty special. Pretty cool. This is it. Lot number 14, an 1877 Merchants National Bank of Burlington, Vermont, that has an amazing eagle artwork on it. Just look at this thing. This is a check, $50 check from 1877, October 2nd, 1877, that is. And yeah, let's take a look at this. Show you the other side, too. Take it out of here carefully. Now you see here, this is the cancellation of it. It's got like a cut in the paper there. And there it is, a stamp on the back. Signature of whoever endorsed it. Amex National Bank paid October 3rd, 1877, New York. It looks like a stamp a bank could have just done a couple years ago, doesn't it? That's awesome. That is pretty cool. It's a really neat check. And Greg did a little bit of a write-up on this one. It's a bank check or draft from the Merchants National Bank, October 2, 77, Burlington, Vermont, payable to, and couldn't read the handwriting there. I couldn't make it out for sure either. And sent to the Fourth National Bank in New York City, and it's cut canceled. And serial number 57929. So that is pretty cool. What I think I could make out here, though, is on the signature, it looks like that says Peoria something. I don't know what else it says, but that's about what it looks like. But thanks again, Greg, for this donation to the club. It's a really cool piece. And I'm going to put all this back into the thing here before I mess it up. We'll do so carefully. Oh, I'm getting the cut canceled thing caught on there. I want to do that. Don't want to tear it. That would be bad. All right, perfect. Perfect. We have bids of $25 by Gringo. Gringo wants this one. $25, Gringo. I mean, look at that paper for 1877. I mean, it's in nice condition. I mean, it might be the kind of paper they used, you know. And I'm guessing for something as important as a check, they probably used high quality paper. They didn't use like newsprint or some just really piece of crap paper that would probably yellow a lot quicker than whatever this is. But yeah, that's just cool. All right, let's go here and we'll go ahead and do a countdown. Gringo is leading at 25. Marilla wants to send the first coin to Maui for Beachmas. You mean Meli Kaliki Maka? That's the island way. Saying Merry Christmas to you. I think Gringo scared away the rest of the bidders there. Amanda can't even have a concert ticket last from 1994, right? Well, concert tickets were printed on garbage paper because they knew most people would throw them away. It was like a one-time use kind of thing. Will PCGS grade that? And if so, what grade do I think? I don't know if PCGS currency, I would guess they probably grade checks and stuff like that. Or PMG. I don't know if it'd be worth doing and what grade it would be. I have no idea, Mikey. I don't know. But Gringo gets that for only $25. I thought that would be a little more. But that's a nice purchase there. Gringo OG 22. Congratulations, and thanks again to Greg for donating that to us. Last but not least, we have lot number 15. It's a 1945 Mexico, 2.5 pesos of gold. 2.5 pesos of gold. And there we go. Opening bid is only $1. $1 for the little Mexican gold from 1945. I'll probably have to show this under the other camera here. Let's do this. There we go. 1940. Steve goes right to $114. Steve's doing some math. $114. How you doing, David? There's that side. There's that side there. Buchanan's goes to 135 after Vern's 115. Yeah, these things have gone up so much in value. Any small gold in the last couple of years, anything under 1/10 of an ounce, the premiums have just gone way up. So what do we think it weighs? Around 4 grams. I could tell you the exact weight if you want to know. If you really want to know, I can tell you the exact weight. I can look that up for us. 1945. I think it's 0.06 of an ounce, somewhere right around there. 0.06 ounces pure gold. Let's go to 1/2 pesos gold coin. But I want to get you the exact information here. Estados Unidos Mexicanos, 2.5 pesos. It is 2.0833 grams of 90% pure gold. The actual gold weight in the coin is 0.0603 ounces of pure gold, 15.5 millimeters in diameter. The current melt value, if you just melted it right now, is at current prices $107.57. So that's all the information you need on here. And don't look up the NGC price guide on this. That's way off. They say an MS60 condition, these things are worth like $1,500. They're not. They're worth a premium. They're worth a premium for sure. You can't get this for melt anymore. You could never get these really for. You had to always pay a little premium for the Mexican gold, but Mexican gold has gone up quite a bit in the last couple of years. But last year and a half. Vern goes 140, Steve Woods 141, Janelle 142, Steve Woods 147. So it is a little over 1/20th. Yes, it's 0.06 ounces of pure gold. Buchanan's at 148. Yeah, Silver Clan, our club, this is in our inventory. I probably bought this a few years ago for between $80, $90, somewhere around that for our club inventory. But gold was a lot lower and the premiums were a lot lower. We used to buy dos pesos and 2.5 pesos all the time to use as prizes for our club meetings and for our coin shows. But it's just, they've gone up so much in value, it's hard to do that. Steve goes to 151. Steve was first at 151. Greg also bid 151, but Steve Woods is first at 151. You got 3 of these a while. I'm sure they were a lot cheaper then, Aaron. You want to sell them back to me at the same price you bought them? You want to sell them back to me at the same price you bought them? No, probably not. I'm just teasing. Greg Berkovitz goes to 153. For the little shiny, pretty gold piece from Mexico. It's got nice luster to it. $153. Steve goes 163, and then he bid against himself 173. Are you sure about that, Steve? You can. I'm not going to turn it down because I know all the proceeds go to the club, but you don't have to outbid yourself. But if you're trying to block other bids, that's perfectly fine. Is that what they were back then, Aaron? Well, yeah, I know. But I was probably buying them a little cheaper than that too, and I probably made okay money at the time, and I was happy with it. So that's the way the bullion market goes. That's the way it goes. So I'm saying Steve Woods is at 173 right now. Very generous bids. Again, all the proceeds go to the club. Really appreciate all the support. And that's going to take Janelle out, she says. And sold if it holds. Let's see. Did that bid make it? I believe it did. Steve, congratulations. Very nice. Very nice. Let me switch back to my other camera so we can see what we're doing here. Camera, this to here, USB live. Close that. Perfect. Perfect. Didn't sell the last of them because you were the only one that got them. Yeah, nice. Nice. Is the 2021 high relief horse up next? Gringo? I mean, I can pull that out if you want, but that's not owned by the club though, so I wouldn't want to do that during our coin club meeting. So buying them for 70. Yeah, probably. Oh, Silver Clan, definitely. I remember it was probably 3 or 4 years ago. I bought a bunch of them for the coin club, a bunch of dos pesos and 2.5s. I think I paid $55 for each dos peso and maybe 75 or $80 each for all the 2.5s. And I bought, I think, like 10 or 20 of each or something, just to have for our coin club inventory. Because pretty much when they were only going for $55 a piece for the dos pesos, pretty much every single meeting, we'd give one away as a prize or in our raffle. Or sometimes the top prize of our raffle would be 2 of the dos pesos, because that added up to about $110. And that was a nice top prize for our raffle. So, yeah. NC Prospectors, correct. Lot number 5 was the Eisenhower silver dollars commemoratives, and I did offer it as a buy it now for $28. But you know, you're going to get $5 shipping too. So if you're already buying other stuff, then you don't pay any extra shipping. But if you're not buying anything else, then it would be $33 total with the shipping. But yes, that was the one I offered as a buy it now. Okay. That was that. That is correct. Anybody else have any other questions? Truth Lives, you want one of those for the 28? And NC, did you want one too? Like, we can do that. NC Pro. Okay, I gotcha. I got both of you down. Perfect. Anybody else have any other questions? Otherwise, I think we're going to wrap it up. But before we wrap it up, Gringo is just reminding us, if you are not yet in the Michael Kittle Rare Coins monthly free coin giveaway, do it. Right there's the link. All you got to do is go to that video and leave a comment. And you have a chance to win a big prize pool of stuff. Most of it, I think all of it, donated by Gringo OG22 to the channel. Gringo is also doing his own giveaway on his channel because he reached 300 subscribers. And now he's over 400 subscribers. So go there, click on his channel. He's got a giveaway going on. He's giving away over $100 worth of coins, some amazing silver there. And get in it. Somebody's going to win it, you know. And as a nice little, it's his birthday month this month. Actually, Gringo's birthday was last week. So as a nice little birthday / Christmas gift, you could actually go over there and subscribe to his channel too. And he would appreciate that. And you have a chance to win a bunch of free stuff. That said, I think that's it for our coin club meeting. I know Don has headed out. He texted me, said he's going to bed. He wasn't feeling okay. So unless he's still here lurking, he won't say goodbye to you. So I'll say goodbye on his behalf. Thanks again for being part of the coin club meeting. Thanks again to Walt Ostromecki for helping us book the speakers. Thanks to Greg and Gordon and Dorian for the donations, and to the other donor didn't want me to mention exactly who it was, but it's somebody in the chat right now, and somebody that probably maybe somebody that won like one of the most recent auctions that we just did. But thank you again to all the donors. What else can we say here? I want to say, hope you guys all have happy holidays. I guess we won't probably talk to the coin club until the beginning of until next year. So have happy holidays, a happy new year. And remember, final chance to get in on that ANA offer. If you want to be an ANA member, let us know. It's a good deal. I'm going to be sending those, the last of the applications I got in next week. So there we go. If you won anything in our giveaways, or if you won any of the auction items, I need an email from you guys. And then from there, we can go on and get you PayPal invoices probably by tomorrow. Greg Bergman goes, happy to all. Thanks again, Greg. Nick, good to see you. And remember, if you enjoyed the presentations and you haven't seen all the others that we've had, this is now probably 20 meetings or so we've had on YouTube. All of them are still online. Just search Glendale Coin Club and pick a month, and you'll probably see a list of all of them. There's a lot of great presentations that maybe you missed, or maybe that you want to watch back again. I don't know. There were some good ones. So thank you very much. Mr. Marmello with a $24.12 New Zealand super chat says, Merry Maui Christmas to all from Southern Polynesia. He's from New Zealand, by the way. P.S. Send those non-Christmas coins to Kittle's sister for Maui Christmas. All right, I'll have to figure out which ones that is. I think that's the Sacagawea dollar you won, Marmello. I'll mark to send to my sister. I think that's the one, right? I think that's it. And then the other ones, you won 2 other items that were both Christmas pieces. Yes. All right, Marmello. I can handle that. Steve needs an invoice. I'll get the invoices taken care of probably tomorrow, Steve, because it's already 9 o'clock and probably not going to. There is a playlist on my channel of Glendale Coin Club meetings, I do believe, Ringo. I do believe. So thanks again, everybody, and appreciate all the support, not only of just me and the channel here, but of us particularly the Glendale Coin Club meetings. It's just awesome. And I'm glad. I know a lot of you guys out there all over the world. When you figure that Marmello's in here from New Zealand, we got a couple other people watching from other countries. You might not have a local coin club where you're at, and I'm glad that we can be your coin club. So I'm glad for that. So anyway, good night, everybody, and see you next month.